So, have you guys put together a cosmology yet? If this is deviating from the topic, then you don't need to address it. And hello, thank you for having me back, Gio. I gave you 3 server boosts, so now you can create a server tag.
Now we're cool for a topic change. Yeah, if you got something new, think we beat that horse to death.
Well, I have been extensively studying what might be called your collective's cosmology. And I found that it resembles what could be called or embodied as a closed world firmament-bound Electric-Aether cosmology. I've also given it the name of, let's see, I have it here in my documents. I've also named it, was I cutting out? Hello? I've also named it Biblical-Hermetic-Electric-Flat-Earth cosmology, and also close world firmament-bounded Electric-Aether cosmology. I just said that one. Sounds about right.
So you just sat there and came up with names, or like, do you have a model?
I'm trying to help you guys
Titles.
get a name for your unified cosmology.
Oh, okay. Just the title. Gotcha.
Yeah, I had 2 names. So one was I have another one. Yeah, so the one was a Biblical-Hermetic-Electric-Flat-Earth cosmology, and the other is closed world firmament-bounded Electric-Aether cosmology. But also it can be said to be a closed world firmament-bounded Electric-Aether, and also
Well, that applies for the globe Earth too. Like what you just said. What you think space-time is infinite?
no, it does not. And
There
no,
you
I
go
don't
then.
think so. I don't make claims.
It's got boundary conditions somehow, somewheres. I don't know.
We can
Out
also
there.
we can also say that it's built upon non-heliocentric, non-Newtonian, and non-relativistic cosmology, or just call it that.
Oh, I mean, why non-Newtonian? I like Noon. Noon is great. We keep Noon.
Well, you got a lot of in-house dispute, but I do understand that it's like a training ground to develop your rhetorics. So
No,
I
it's
just
not. Everybody has their own beliefs, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not training
Of
ground
course.
for all of us to sound the same. Nope, it's not true.
Yeah, you don't need to sound the same, but you need to align within a cosmology. You can have different ideas, beliefs, etc. within the cosmology, but you still need to unite under a category, a main category.
Oh, we
If not,
generally call it flat Earth, even though we know it has
nah,
topography. It's not flat whatsoever. But
that's not
you know what I mean?
right because that's not right because most of you are not have not decided whether the Earth is flat or concave or some other non-globe topology. So you can't say FE. That would be to belittle a large group within this cosmology that you are attempting to assemble.
Maybe, but I don't think I am. But maybe I am.
Well, I'm not speaking on.
I'm not trying to, but
Well, you're not everyone, are you now?
no, of course not. I'm one of
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah,
You know,
so
just one
I'm not
flat earther.
speaking of you as a assembly or exemplar of the community. I'm speaking to the community right now.
Okay, I'm a member
You,
of the community. Is what I'm saying.
yes, yes, you are, and the community could rightfully be categorized as those three different cosmology names or names for the cosmology that I've given. All three equates to the same cosmology.
We haven't figured it out yet, though. Our
I
cosmology.
know, I know. That's why I'm here.
But I haven't even. Okay, the globe earthers haven't even figured out the globe earth like cosmology.
Yeah,
Like redshift.
well,
You know what I mean? They tell us the
yeah,
universe is ever expanding because of redshift. Then people figure out that redshift, Halton Arp and I forgot Mr. Tiffin figured out in the 60s
yeah.
that redshift happens in increments.
Well,
So they called it.
The lambda CDM model is obviously just catered to the Big Bang theory and nothing else. Then
Yeah, yeah, but
it's just a
there's
matter.
different models of that like, it's disputed. It's not settled in the globe Earth model in mainstream. It's not settled.
Of course, I know, and they know. It's just a mathematical model. You guys are attempting to create something else or an alternative. Uh, it becomes too religious. You need to get down to the ground, or it's not going to actually
Mm,
be
my
any
friend.
any challenge.
Didn't you hear this from a great scientist? He once said, "Science always needs a miracle. You must always give them one in any field." So you go to cosmology, you go to Big Bang. There it is. There's your miracle. You go to evolution. Let's say origins of man, primordial soup. Lightning strikes. I hit the pond. It's like there is your magic. They always need this magical moment. Then we'll build everything else. But we need a point
Uh,
that's unverified. All of science is built upon that, dude. Give them one magical thing, and then they just run off with it. At the core of it, there's some religious theory in science too. Big Bang, it was Georges Lemaitre. He was a religious man. He was a priest. Straight up religious. You can tell it's a religious theory. The Big Bang theory. It's not religious. It is.
yeah, but religion does not have authority over magic.
Magic as in a moment in their theory that's unexplained. As in Big Bang. Singularity, boom, expanded the singularity. Singularity happened everywhere. That's Lawrence
Sure.
Krauss quoting him. It's everywhere around you, occupied every point in space time. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Nobody knows what that means. But
Yeah.
you have to give them that. Once you give them that, then they can make, okay, we got the cosmic background radiation, we got the redshift, so we think, and then there's problems and all that. So
Called
it's
it's
just it's a religious model. I think all these are religious at heart, unless it was purely scientific. Like, okay, we are here. Let's figure out what we're on, like
so
empirically.
you're somewhat right. Yes, magic or mystery needs to be reintegrated into the lived experience. But that is not done by pointing to an abstraction and saying that this abstraction is so non-direct and unreachable, but so beyond their capabilities, but somehow fully transparent, just in the fictional constitution of its makeup. So as much so that you can believe in it. That's not how you go about things, actually. But you are right. The magic slash mystery that needs to be restored, but that's not done through creating just another fiction, because
Yeah,
the
you
fiction
should not.
itself.
I'm with you. Like a person shouldn't believe in stuff like that. But it's like all these
Person shouldn't
mainstream,
believe to begin
like
with.
no, you should verify, right? Especially in science, right? That's the whole thing. We're trying to
The
really
whole point is
you can
yes,
have you can have beliefs in the beginning, then you set out an experiment. Oh, I was wrong. Oh, I was right. Whatever it may be. But
yeah.
like I
So
said, when you rewind time with these guys, their stories are very fictional. Like, you got like I said, Big Bang. It's like, can they actually verify it? Oh, okay, well, we got the CMBR. You really look into that. It's like they fudged the data every satellite they sent up. They got data that did not coincide with what they were expecting. with the predictions.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah,
fudged
yeah.
it, and it's insane. You got the WMAP satellite they did that with. It had a faulty black body. You got the Kobe Fear satellite. This is all for the cosmic background radiation, for the expansion of the universe, right? This is the only
Yeah,
proofs we have,
yeah.
dude. And this is where it's all
Yeah,
fantasy. It's great.
yeah,
It's a
but
great theory, but does it check out?
so the cosmic microwave background is not what we should be building the observable universe upon, because
It's for the expansion, to
because
be specific. Like,
sure, but just because you can see it through an optical telescope or any standard telescope or radio telescope, etc., doesn't mean that that's the constitution or a backdrop or background or anything to reality in of itself. It's just something you see through a telescope. And just because you're pointing it at the sky doesn't mean that that's where we come from or any other thing like that. That's
do you
just
know what the first?
philosophical projection.
No. Well, they're trying to set out a test to test out their theory, right? They're like, okay, so when they sent out the so-called first satellites, you know what the result
You're
was?
not
If you
addressing what
Google
I'm
this,
saying right now.
I am. They called it the axis of evil. If you Google the axis of evil, because these are the results that first came back, where Earth is the center of the universe, actually, concluded by NASA. But they fudged that because those were the original numbers. You can look it up. It's called Axis of Evil. There's a wiki page on it. That is the results they got. Earth, because the microwaves are coming from the water on Earth. Duh. But they're too dumb to figure that out. Other people have figured it out.
So the right way to go about things is not to make another claim, but it is in the very approach. It does not come about by pointing to another belief system as replacement to the absence of the truth's presence. Because if you're going to have any awakening to anything, that being truth itself, you cannot placate and point to the truth, but live the truth. And the truth is only lived through its actuality, not through inference. The truth is known through directness, not through pointing at, imitation, representation, or mimesis.
And it's too much
once
philosophy for
once
me,
you
bro. Way too much.
well, you'll follow along if you finally are able to keep at my pace.
Pace is too slow, is what I'm saying. Pick it up a little bit.
If it's too much
Speed it up.
philosophy, but the pace is too slow, then we have
Just
met
truth
the
is simply
contradiction.
truth is just that which it is. Falsehood, that which it's not. That's it. Don't complicate it anymore. You can't live the truth and live in it and travel in the truth. No, that shit. Truth is that which it is. Boom. Falsehood, that which it's not. It's really simple.
Welcome to
Okay. We
welcome
don't need 10 books
welcome to
about this
Grounded
shit.
Two. You just read
Well, it's just a one liner, man.
you just read the
Who?
first axiom within my framework. What is what is
Okay.
not is not.
We agree, man. It's good.
Yeah, I know, because many people have participated on my server, forwarded messages, and attempting to develop their vocabulary there with two, and also imposture their framework to reify their own models. You see, I'm equally a part of this, call it a movement, but I'm not here to
I
replace
personally,
absence with more absence.
I just use the globe model for whatever it is. Like, I mean, I'm just going to use the mainstream mathematical model. That, let's say it's got everything mapped out accurately. Okay, cool. What's the problem with that? I don't have to believe that this is what I live on. But yeah, this model works great for X, Y, and Z. Cool. I'll use it.
Well,
I have no problem with that.
that's good. That should be everyone's relationship with the model. That is just a
But yeah,
model.
it's a model. Exactly.
It's a model.
If it's useful,
Exactly.
like even if it's a just purely mathematical model, if it's
You're
useful
right.
to your journey, whatever it is, use it, man. If it's accurate and useful,
Yeah.
go for it.
I've been
If
saying this
somebody
for
comes up with
over.
a somebody comes up with like a hollow Earth and works out the math perfectly with the stars, dude, use it. You got it worked out. It works well. Go for it. Does it mean it's concave? Probably not. I don't see curvature upwards, but it's a model, a
Yeah,
working model.
I've been saying this for 1.5 years, that you can have a model that's functionally well working, but doesn't mean that you actually know reality in of itself, objective reality, that is. And usually, or if not most of the times, a model is created in the absence of reality or knowing it. That's why you create a model, to sort of like attempt to design what something is, to attempt sort of like align with or understand or sort of get like a view of what it is without actually beholding it.
Like modeling subatomic particles, or atoms and electrons and protons. Yeah, you're gonna have to
Yeah.
have it's gonna have to be a drawn mathematical model. Like what? Well, how are you gonna model that? Look at the wood in front of you. It's already modeled. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have to use paper and pen for these models. Like, you don't have a choice.
Well, to think that it has to be a mathematical model is where many make a mistake as well, because a mathematical model ultimately is a representation through mathematical language. Doesn't mean that this abstract complex phenomena, which is made into like a manageable form, enables any simulation or insight across fields like physics, etc. It
Like,
doesn't mean
I
that
have a good
you actually
example.
get access. Yeah.
The Bohr's model of the atom. I bet you every flat earther has a problem with it. Well, if mainstream also has a problem with it, when in mainstream it's understood this is not what an atom is. But the
Sure.
symbolic representations of the S1, S2, it's fine. It works. It's okay. Right? Now we understand more. It's more like a cloud of electrons, and we can't really pinpoint where it's at. So it's like,
Under
okay, so now we know more. So we ditched that old model and we did upgrade a model of the atom. So it's
no,
fine. This is what I'm
but
saying.
that's
It's
where
a
you're
mathematical model on paper, which it works. It's okay. The relationships are correct, but
but
that's
that's
not
where you're
exactly what
fooling
it looks like.
yourself. But that's where you're
Am I
fooling
fooling myself?
yourself. You're not knowing more because you're not actually able to establish a referent in reality. Sure, you have quantifiers. You can count 1 tree, 2 trees, 3 trees, 400 trees. But there is a point where the mathematical model goes into such an abstraction that it doesn't actually reference anything in reality, other than in the
That's Einstein,
imaginary.
though. It would be hard to relate that to chemistry.
When it leaves the realm of reality, or just the world of reality, or just existence in of itself, and it enters into the imagination, which is a derivative or contingent, or sort of like a simulation within reality,
Um, a
and you
derivative is not
explore.
imagination, though,
That's
or
not
an
what I'm
integral.
saying. You got to
Like,
listen before you
okay, okay,
interject.
okay. What are you saying?
Yeah,
I
say it, say it, say it.
misunderstood it. That's the only reason I interjected. I wasn't trying to stop your train of thought. Keep going.
Yeah, so you don't normally interject by making a correction. You interject by asking a question if you have a difficulty with keeping track.
It's okay. You speak too slow, bro. Relax. Don't
No,
give
I
me
don't.
lessons now. Yeah, you do.
Just don't poison the well now. Come on. There's no need to redirect by some kind of ad hom when or slash poison the well when we can just be on topic. So
Buddy, you said I'm not catching up. So you called me slow first. Then I told you,
okay,
no, you speak
no
slow. All
unnecessary
right,
drama.
you keeping
No
track?
drama, dude.
No, I'm not. I'm just
Just
saying, be fair. If you shoot,
just stop the drama.
expect to be shot back and just shut the fuck up and move on. But then you're going to give me a fucking lesson about how I shot you back and you started the fight. Oh, fuck you, motherfucker. Let's fight. See, that's how I am. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, bro. If you're respectful, I'll be respectful, even if we disagree. But you tell me I'm slow, I can't keep up with you, and then I shoot back and you have a fucking problem and you scream like a bitch, I'll keep on beating you up. I'll whoop your monkey ass. Put you in a fucking cage. Cool.
What's going on right now?
Well, I'm
Why
just
did you
teaching you a
suddenly
lesson.
make a lot of drama? No, you're not teaching me anything. You're stating basic shit, and you're screaming. You're being disrespectful. We're just having a conversation. There's no point for
Buddy,
all
just
the added drama.
rewind. Listen, rewind the clock with your victimhood shit. Just rewind the tape. Play it back. You shot first, asshole.
The only victim here now is you saying that someone else is the victim, playing the victim to then point at what made you the victim.
Bro, I want to get back onto the Bohr's model of the fucking
I do
atom. Dude.
too, so
Just
stop
drop this
making all the
bullshit.
added drama. Yeah, please stop
Quit
the
talking
drama.
about it.
Let's get back.
Move on.
Yeah, move on, dude. So we were talking about why it's not necessary to create a replacement model in the absence of truth, because that's only when you make a model. If you actually want to have people, if you actually want the world to open their eyes to whatever this is, the cosmology, then you gotta find a way to actually speak the truth to them being aware of it being so, without shoving up a model in their face. Because then you're just gonna if you come with a model, you're just gonna replicate what the paradigm before you did as well, meaning you're just doing the same old actions. You're going to make the same mistake yet again.
Not if it's correct.
Sure. But then we don't have a model made in absence. We have a model true to the ground. So a grounded model is not an abstract model. It's a model actually built on reality and from reality. But you don't get to a grounded model by building it upon hypotheses, etc. Like, for example, dual pole Earth, or whatever that's called, ether, etc. That's built from abstraction, not from the ground up. Which is why I have developed this very framework that could help you establish such a model and cosmology. You guys have just yet to figure it out.
What were you saying, Cyrus, about Bohr's model, or what were you saying?
I'm saying if you take that like mainstream, everybody has a problem with that model, including the mainstream. It is not the current model of the atom. It's not. They have moved on. They know it's incorrect. But what I was saying is, you can still use the mathematics of it to get stuff done, work stuff out. You know, the electron shells and stuff. But even though this is not really what it is, but it's okay. It's relationship. It's good. It works, but it's not really what it is.
They used to know the exact location of the electron, I believe it is. And now it's in all positions. They came up with that all positions. It could be anywhere, everywhere. We don't know where it is type deal. Quantum stuff.
Yeah, cloud. Like when you try to actually take a picture of this stuff, like where is it? You know, you see a hole, and then everything around it is an electron cloud. It kind of matches up with I mean, it does match up with what JJ said, but because he said it's a plug, it's a terminal. It is not like it's the end of the bungee, so to speak. It's not a particle. But anyways, it's a different way of looking at the same exact thing. And he got the Nobel Prize for discovering it, by the way, the electron. JJ and Rutherford.
A Nobel Prize means nothing. Truly.
Yeah, but those guys, I'm just saying, mainstream recognizes these two humans for discovering the electron, even though the views on what it is, their views are not the same. So, which is interesting.
So let me help you correct your phrasing. What you're actually saying is that he got a Nobel Prize for creating an artistic representation of a fictitious illustration towards some claim. It's an artistic rendition of a belief that got a Nobel Prize. It doesn't have any actual ground in reality other than in something derivative there within, which is the imagination.
No, you can deflect electrons in the this was based on he was playing around with CRT tubes. That's how they discovered it.
Yeah, discovered it
It's
in
not
their imagination.
fiction. Bro, you can see the
Oh, it
electron
is.
beam in the tube. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. And you have a
So,
phosphor screen, you can see the electron beam reacting with the phosphor screen, and you can even shoot these things in the air with a thin glass
surely,
window. Yes. So there is
surely.
absolutely something there. You can deflect it magnetically and electrically. Like, come on. Deflection coils. There's something there. What is it?
You're pervading the very point that people can make names of things that they believe are working or have functionality to a specific role and function, and still just misname or misdescribe or misdefine what actually that thing is. Meaning, you can say that I'm, for example, a calumnist, when in fact I'm not. For
Do
example,
you even know what he's talking about, Ziak? Do you have any clue what he's talking about?
yeah, I do. The map is not the territory and never will be.
Steelman, what he was just said about the cloud probability and that. Steelman that.
I don't need to.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
See, I do not need to help you develop your vocabulary so that your rhetorics become better.
Thank you, English teacher. I'm unsubscribing. I am good. Thanks.
XYNACT, don't be a dick.
Yeah. Holding the other hostage to Steelman is a way to make you get or develop an expansive vocabulary for your own argument. If you're not actually going to go into understanding why it's not a good position or even really an argument to be had, then there's really no point to the Steelman other than to you desiring to get a free teaching as to how to argue or articulate your argument better. Steelmanning is a futile endeavor.
You're a
Whatever you say,
narcissistic
boo.
psycho.
Okay, you don't need to ad hom me now. Please just be good of heart.
All right, can we get a what is the topic? Se, who's here? What
Yes,
are we
please.
Exactly, yeah. Cyrus was beautifully explaining something, and then Ziak coming in with his poetry stuff.
Okay, I'm not sure why SC is making this reframe narrative, but whatever.
All right, what was the last thing Cyrus said? Let's go from there.
He was talking
Yeah,
about the atom, how it's not an orbital and it's now a probabilistic cloud. You hear that, Ziak? That's
yeah,
what
and
we're
I
talking about.
don't disagree with that. You hear that?
Okay, so stay chill, bro. Stay chill, and yeah.
And I've always been chill, man. You not recognizing it is on you.
No, man. Look, you're pretending to be chill, but you deliver these underhanded statements like you're here to teach us something. I'm waiting.
No.
You just teach me. Like, cool. Just get to it. If you can actually teach me something, fire up the presentation, bro. I will shut the fuck up. I'll pretend you're Richard Feynman, and let's see what you got. I'll judge you afterwards. But let's see the material.
Okay.
But this is poetry.
Okay.
This is poetry hour now.
So please stop with your meta commentary. I'm actually a professionally trained drama pedagogue and applied theater expert. So just stop.
Okay, so the electron is a probabilistic cloud. Should we move from there? Is that?
Yeah, man. Whatever you want to talk about, go for it. We can move on.
Yeah, we should move on.
Well, how do you think the electron relates to ether, Cyrus? What is your thought on that?
JJ subscriber all the way. So it is the electron and the proton are the ends of a Faraday tube, is what he called it. The dielectric line of force, not the magnetic line of force. Magnetic lines of force around an electrified circuit, the complete concentric circles around the wire. That's where magnetism appears. And then from conductor to conductor, you have radial lines, right? Those radial lines are called dielectric lines or electric, whatever, whichever one you want to go with, or Faraday tubes. Cool. And the ends of those, what JJ theorized, one end is terminated in an electron, so subatomically in the metal. Let's say you're using copper conductors for your circuit, so it's actually terminated subatomically. So it's connected to an electron here and a proton there. And once you have electrical flow current, this entire fabric scratches down the wire because it is terminated in the electron and the wire of the electric stuff. So it gives appearance of electron flow. And it creates an heating effect, and that's why we can heat stuff with electricity. But it's all from the scratching of this fibrous grid. Anyways, that's JJ in a nutshell, essentially. So that's what I subscribe to. It's the end of a Faraday tube. And I gotta just pull up some quick diagrams. You guys know what I'm talking about. Give me a second.
I recently watched the debate, and they weren't sure what an atom was, what a particle is, if it's dualistic. They're still debating that, believe it or not.
Well, they can see an atom, right?
So they say.
I've seen people magnify stuff and whatever this and whatever that, and kind of looks like they can see an atom, or they can see something that they can quantify and say, look, you have a look, and you're like, oh yeah, see what you mean. You know what I mean? But no, I don't think you see this electron thingy spinning around the atom, but you can see the particle-ish. You can call it atom. The single things, all like marbles or whatever.
There's some questions, if I may ask them directly to Geo about your cosmology, or what the cosmology might be inferred from this place, just to get more clear as to what it is. I'm curious, is reality empty? Is it not? Is it structured? Is Earth the center of that structure? Is there no outer space? Is there vacuum? Is there no infinite void?
There's counter space, the space between space.
We're not asking you.
Well, just wait for Geo to have a conversation, if you're lucky.
Yeah, that's
Who's
what I'm
we?
hearing.
Who's we?
I'm waiting for Geo. Depends if you want to engage with me or not.
Maybe you should have seen if he wanted to engage with you before chatting
Yeah.
for like.
Try to read the rooms, I know.
Yeah, maybe I should read the room.
Are you guys mentioning me? The last thing I heard was I had to step away for a minute, and then I actually was trying to go back on YouTube to hear the part I missed. Last I heard, Cyrus was explaining J.J. Thompson. Where did it go from there? Are we still on that?
We could be, but I don't think he actually went on to explaining anything. But I could be wrong.
He posted an image.
He did, yeah.
I mean, you want me to pull up Jesus' work? He called it. It wasn't called an electron. It was a corpuscle, or whatever. However you say that. That's what he originally called it. Then it became the electron. Cool. So these negatively charged corpuscles, and you can go through his experimentation how he discovered that they are charged, right? Negatively specific because you can deflect them, right? So, anyways, you can go through his experimentation and see what he did to, like, oh, there's something there for sure. What is this stuff?
Okay, why should we do that again?
You can go through and read it if you have doubt that he did this stuff.
Okay, so all
Then
I
if you have
see
further doubt,
is a
replicate
drawing.
it.
So I see something straight out of Maxwell-based RF engineering. That's an artistic rendition of a claim.
Okay. Anyways, the drawing, the radial lines, phi.
Yeah, it's called
No,
a
yeah,
telegraph
psi. My
equation.
bad. We're not talking about telegraphs right now. This is not the telegraph equation.
It's not.
You can Google the telegraph equation and you see it's not on the slide. You have all the components, yeah, the R and the L and the C, but yeah, sure.
Do the radial lines, like on the image you posted at 18 after, on the image on the right, the radial lines are those the ones that go from pole to pole, which would be basically the prime
Correct.
meridian on the Earth?
So what you're looking at, this is like, let's say you have two overhead cables that are running in an electrified circuit. We're looking at a cross section. So we're looking down into the conductors, right? So the black dots are the copper conductors. Yeah, those radial lines would be the electric lines of force or dielectric lines of force. And these tubes, right? With the Faraday tubes are these lines, right? What J.J. Thomson called Faraday tubes. They terminate. So let's say on the left part of the circuit, let's say that line terminates into an electron. On the right side, it would be connected to a proton, plus and a minus here, right? So that's what he thought of this. That's what he thought an electron is the end of this Faraday tube. And they're always around us, like you can't just disconnect from it. So his theories are awesome on anti-gravity and stuff like that. And that's one kind of like school of thought where they don't want you to think the way JJ thought, because so some people believe his theory is the way out of like the gravity situation because it's electrical, right? Due to JJ. So you read more into his work and he gets into the theoretical bit of how to disconnect these lines of force from the metallic body. And this is it becomes interesting in theory. This is theoretical now, but if it checks out, that's it's interesting stuff.
So why do you guys
Inertia
keep
has
saying
no
that?
effect on you. Okay.
So why do you guys keep saying that all physical interactions are mediated by fields? That it's field-based and not object-based?
Who said that?
Well, let me ask you a question. Is everything electric?
What does that mean exactly? I mean, like
Question.
morphologically, like chemically, yeah, it appears to be.
Literally, is everything electric?
If I pull up the table of elements, yes. According to the table of elements of what man has discovered,
These,
yes, it is. It's the ratio of electrons to protons to neutrons. Different ratios of this absolutely gives you different elements. That's the end of that. Yes.
And these objects never physically touch. They only their fields only interact.
okay, so we don't need to make an argumentum ad populum. Just, that's a fallacy, right? That. So just because a theory or a field of study says
appealing to the mainstream is good because this is not like conspiracy that all material is made out of electrons and protons and neutrons. It's like this is the theory, buddy. Catch up, right? It's like, no,
Yeah,
that is the theory, actually. So when flat earthers use it, you guys have a fucking problem. Open up your chemistry book. There is no problem. So it's like,
yeah,
okay,
but
you're an idiot. Not you, but anybody that opposes that. I'm sorry, you just got to catch up.
sure,
Opposes
but
what? Wait, I missed what you meant. Hold on, Siak. Opposes what?
He asked if, do I think everything is electric? I think something like that. And so I answered with the table of elements, like chemically, yes. Everything is electrons, protons, and neutrons. And based on the ratios of those to one another and different quantities, you get different elements. And that is the mainstream theory, right? It's like, I'm not going against the mainstream. This is not a flat earther theory. That is the textbook. So if you think otherwise, prove it. Because all our chemical reactions do work this way. It works just fine. You got the valence shell, how many electrons in that shell, and all that. You know, it's like, dude, it works. And it is electrically based, all the chemical interactions. So if you don't think everything is electrical around you, well, come up with a different theory and post it.
it's equally possible to say that something is X when it is Y, and then go on to make a whole system around X and not understand how it's Y, even though it is Y.
Is that a riddle?
So
It might be a
no,
riddle.
it's just very simple. The truth is that something can obviously be described in detail as being something specific when it's something other. And you can
All right, so
fool
Cyrus,
yourself or delude yourself to be it being something specific, although it is something else.
I gotcha. So Cyrus, what is, do you think, a proton, electron, neutron? Are they orbiting, or do you think is there proof? What is the proof for what those are, other than?
When you look at this stuff, try to actually, for me, this is my journey into this, my beliefs. You know what I mean? When you try to dissect the onion material, we own the shells that we find are there, but they're only there due to motion, spin. Okay, so with the electrons, the cloud of electron, the create the shell, and it's actually solid material. Like if you actually grab a piece of iron or wood or something, it's really solid. But when you zoom in, like it's only solid because of the motion. Like if you have a bicycle wheel, right, and you got spokes through it, when it's stationary, you can, throw a pebble right through the spokes. But if you spin it up really fast, it will behave as if it's a solid shell, right? That's what I believe is happening. Is due to the motion and activity of an electrical charge. But what is that? Is it a particle? I do not think so. It appears as we dissect, there is nothing there. When we go into the center, it's hold on, let me finish. It's just energy vibrating back and forth somehow, right? At the deep levels, right? I'm getting into quantum fluctuations and bullshit. Nobody's there yet, in my opinion. We don't know what it is, but it appears to be, as you dissect the shell there's no shell. The shell is just, it's made into reality because of the spinning of the shell, but itself, there's nothing there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's weird.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Anyways, I was
Yeah,
talking to Gio. Yes.
Yeah, but I would like to respond. So you made 4 key words here. First, you began and almost ended, but then had to restate it. You began by saying, I believe. And then you also ended with, this is what I believe. So it's a key word. Belief is not truth itself. It's the what comes in the as a replacement or attempt to invoke knowledge in the absence thereof. As a sort of like safe ground to tether to when you don't actually have actual ground.
Yeah, that's why I started with I believe for that one. Because in morphology, there's a lot of belief systems. And they want you to subscribe to one and not the other. I'm the guy where it's like, I'll take what I can understand and what's useful from each one and see where the truth lies. And I don't think there's actually anything there. That's what I'm saying. This is my belief system, my conclusion from reading different people's morphology, like ideas. There's no shell. The appearance of the shell is only due to from the vibration. If the vibration, theoretically, we can somehow stop it, you can say everything matter would just disappear into nothing. There wouldn't be any
Okay,
dust or anything there because electrical potentials dancing back and forth.
Okay, so 2 quick questions. Your belief that also creates sort of like a view or sight or vision, is that also a world view?
I thought we were talking about the actual content, though, of what this is. Rather, you're going on like a philosophical sort of meta route of how he comes to conclusions and how belief happens and things. I thought we were talking about what the actual electron, proton, neutron, and the valence shell and the actual vibration. I thought we were talking about what it actually is. Is that all right, Siak?
We are.
Can we stick on what it actually is and not go into the kind of abstract poetry?
Well, we are, and I agree. That's why I began the 2 questions by saying 2 quick questions. That's a way to signify that I do not intend to deviate off the topic.
Okay, then what's your contribution, and then let's move forward.
Well, when he concedes to the fact that these are his beliefs, we can surmise with the fact or the truth that which is that this is not actuality or reality. It's a metaphysical claim that he's making about the constitution, order, and origin of just things in of itself, that being actually matter, meaning he's attempting to provide meta to physics, meaning metaphysics.
All right, we can move forward from there. Cyrus, like, what would you say the part that you have, like, a conception or like a conceptual framework for, and what is in your understanding is provable, like physically, of what's happening? Maybe what lies on each side of that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I believe a lot of the mainstream stuff: electrons, protons, neutrons, no problem. When you go like those are subatomic particles, but when you go a level beneath that, I kind of, I don't know if I need that personally. But I would love to understand how that stuff works. Like, what is an electron made out of? Right? Then you'll have the materialistic guys, right? The physicists, because they need units of mass in physics, right? SI units, yeah. So if there's no mass, it's metaphysics to them, and they don't study it. So they have to assign physical attributes to the stuff that's electrical in nature, and it's not really physical. It doesn't have any mass, so it can't be physical.
What happens when you pull the electron from an atom, Cyrus?
How fast?
Oh, it has to be a speed. I don't know. I'm just kind of like these. I'm kind of
boiling it off,
pay a bit of attention to the alchemical sort of interpretation. This idea of like sort of what is it? Earth, wind, plasma. Yeah, so that sort of stuff. But and I'm just trying to look for an explanation of the atom within that sort of understanding rather than this scientific one. I don't know, I think it's interesting sort of concept.
Okay.
I just wanted to hit you up because, I mean, if you're still sitting within the particle interpretation, what does it mean to remove a particle from these structures? What happens?
Wait. The particle, though, when you rip it out of the metal, this is where JJ CRT tube. Okay, so you have two electrical plates essentially. Okay, in a vacuum, and you start increasing the voltage or the tension, electrical tension between the plates, because as you increase the voltage, the plates are actually trying to get closer together. All right, then at some point, what they call an electron breaks. The way JJ look at it, they call it this bungee that we're talking about. This Faraday tube gets dislodged from the metal that's attached, and since we know it is terminated in the electrons and in the protons in the other, yes, it is going to rip a piece of the metal out, right? But it ripped the end of the tube out, and that piece flies forward now. That's JJ's, like, the way JJ looks at the world. There's always a fabric you could never disconnect from, is the electromagnetic fabric, right? And from his ideas, like the electric lines of force is where all this stuff, all this action, that like the Faraday tube, that's the electric or the dielectric line of force. One end is the electron, the other end is the proton. Mainstream agrees, they just delete the fabric when they speak about electrons and protons. JJ does not. He keeps the lines of force there to conceptualize what is going on. That way you don't just have electrons flowing in a solid conductor made out of copper. No, there's a fabric that's scraping along the solid conductor, terminated in the electrons and protons, given rise to the appearance of electron flow. Because the fabric is terminated in an electron and it's moving forward. So it will look to you, if you're just studying the conductor, as, oh, look, electron flowing forward. But it's the fabric that's flowing forward, scraping along the electrons.
Isn't that interesting? Okay, so like the physical properties of the material, the metal, and then you rip the electron off it and it becomes rust, right? It loses its conductivity and it becomes rust. Can you
oxidizing?
Yeah, is that what we're talking about there? Like, I mean, you're sort of talking about the imagery of the protons and the fields and stuff, and I just want to look at it from a kind of real world point of view. What happens?
I'm talking like vacuum tube, CRT, because this is where X-rays and stuff like that, we also get those from electrons by accelerating them to a certain speed, usually above 30,000 volts between the plates. Once you have that volt in any vacuum tube, the speed of the electron, once it hits, the anode, it breaks. Suppose this is the theory now. This is theoretical. I don't know about this bit, but what we know for sure, X-rays come out. Exit the tube for sure. If we accelerate this thing, the bungee, when we rip the metal out or rip the electron out, right? Which we're just increasing tension of the dielectric lines of force, like according to JJ, right? If we do this fast enough, when we break it out, it's traveling at different speeds, different velocities. And due to the velocity, when it crashes, for some reason, we get X-rays out above like 30 kV.
Electricity is like a plasma. Can I call it a plasma? Or like
no.
Okay, you don't like that terminology.
No, you can't. It can create plasma for you. So
isn't it just like
it's literally the hottest.
Do you not think of it as like a baseline form of plasma or something that's just, I don't know, like it's energy in a lower frequency state or something? Like you say that you can turn it into plasma, but
right.
It's
the fabric. So
it's plasmatic in its own interpretation. You get what I'm saying? It's just a lower state. It's like what thermal imaging is to visual imaging. It's just like something that's in a slightly different state. You can't see it as well. It doesn't behave like the plasma you can see. Maybe electricity is just like in a lower state or something.
Okay, Gio, where are you gonna hop in? No. All right. Okay. Something about electricity, real fast. Like electricity, what it is exactly. All right. Okay. Just skip the electron flow for now. Definition, and kind of let's take a look at the bigger picture. Electrical flow, because certain things have to happen to have this stuff. Okay. So that this should change the way we understand it, and understand the world around us, and look at this fabric. This grid, electromagnetic grid. So we have to complete something like the boundary conditions. You have to have a circuit and it has to be closed. And only when the circuit is closed, okay, you get electrical flow. And due to the electrical flow in the conductors, we get a rise of magnetism. Even though there's no magnets in the circuit, we just use batteries, and we're just going to energize a light bulb. When the light bulb is on, the circuit, the geometric boundary is now connected. And this is the thing. And Oliver Heaviside, right, referring to Mr. Oliver Heaviside, he said all conductors must be capable of reflection. They're all reflectors. There is no conductor that can be used that you can't make a mirror out of. If the cable itself, you can't reflect it and see yourself in it, can't be used to transmit electricity. And you'll see a piece of wood, you cannot buff it out to see yourself in it, right? And it cannot conduct electricity. Anything metallic and shiny like that, generally, yes, it has to be capable of reflection. So when you have this reflector material and you bind it, okay, now you have the proper boundary conditions for this potential to come to life. For the fabric that's kind of just sitting there, now the fabric is going to move. And the motion of the fabric is going to give rise to effects such as magnetism, heating due to the magnetism and the current flow, and stuff like that. So all of that is due to boundary conditions. Once those are complete and you have the proper conditions, right, this fabric flows. And this is
Okay,
interesting.
so
Like, this is where it's like, that's the basic fundamental, like, we have to begin here, and then we can, why do the materials have to be capable of reflection? Did anybody ever answer that in science? What we call conductors. They're all reflectors also.
Okay, so we don't have to begin there because you're postulating a metaphysical claim. So I'm curious, just to verify whether or not you're doing that, are you saying that the universe is a closed system?
Bro, we're not going into thermodynamics right now in closed systems, but yeah, well, okay, who's outside of the system to see if there's mass transfer or not? So closed system means there's energy transfer, but there's no mass transfer. Open system, that means you can have energy and mass transfer. So I don't know if we're having mass transfer to the vacuum of outer space. According to these guys, we do. So they're saying it's an open system, but we treat it as closed. So, fuck no. No idea.
Yeah, well,
Have you been on the moon? I haven't. Let me know. I'm not sure. Closed
yeah,
or open?
so obviously none of us, or neither of us, has been to the moon, pointing to our own experience, and also in parallel or contrast, pointing to claims doesn't do any or the other. I'm asking you directly, is the universe closed system?
I
Dude,
do
this
not
is a
know.
total topic change. Weren't we just? Is this what you're gonna do, Siak?
Yeah,
Just do topic rails? Like, come on, man. We gotta stay on topic if you're gonna be on the panel. Like Cyrus just laid out a bunch of stuff. I was looking forward to hearing a response to that. Now you go to open and closed systems.
I mean, he doesn't want this. Look, I have to rewind the clock. I'm going to take you back to the 1700s. There's no way around this. We have to begin here. Michael Faraday, his discovery is huge. Like, we can't. This metaphysical stuff, this is the problem with electricity. Okay? Before Michael Faraday, you had two guys that fought it out. Animal electricity, Luigi Galvani, right? The guy that was dissecting the frog. We know this story. His theory is electricity comes from within the animal. Okay? Mr. Alessandro Volta at the time, no. He's like, He's like, dissimilar metals have a, this is what he theorized, have an atmosphere. Dissimilar metals with like different colors specifically have different atmospheres around them. And when you put them in a caustic bath, whether acidic or alkaline, you get fire. This is the exact terminology they used because they didn't have electricity yet. Okay, when you do this array of plates, yes, fire. When you short circuit the battery, this is called the voltaic pile.
Yeah, but okay.
Fire. Plasma's fire. They literally called it
Yeah,
fire.
you're using a chemical reaction to release the fire from the substance.
Galvani, Luigi Galvani.
Luigi Galvani, sure.
Yes, he had.
And voltaic pile.
Yep.
Oh, well, and Alessandro Volta.
Well, see, what this was indicative of was the energy within us. Like for me, it's like the word calorie. That is a unit of measurement of energy. But people have not been taught that that's what this is. Unless you look into it, then you can find it's 1/1000th of an industrial calorie.
Real fast, I'm just going to finish the Faraday story. I just had to rewind to Galvani and Volta to use, because we're going to use a voltaic pile. So we need to know that we don't know what we're using right off the bat. Okay, we're using a dude's theory that he theorized metals have atmospheres around them. And that's what science says today. Electrons are a cloud. Okay, he theorized that back in the 1700s somehow. Okay, and it works, but nobody was sure. But that's his theory. Obviously triumphed. But anyway, so you get Michael Faraday. People have batteries, aka voltaic piles, and you can draw fire with it. Cool. This was a toy you can experiment with. You can draw fire with it, and it hurts if you touch it. Now, Michael Faraday figured out that when he was drawing these sparks, so the magnet compass would move on, like the compass, needle would move on the desk, and then he took the same wire. Right, he discovered, okay, there's magnetism, appearance of magnetism, and that was Ørsted also. And then Faraday, he took the same wire and he wound it on itself, and he discovered that the magnetic effects with the same exact current, if you were to wind it, like the same exact wire upon itself, 1, 2, you would multiply the magnetic effect, like straight up, right? With every winding, you would get more magnetic effect for the
Correct.
same exact current. And now you have a coil that can move iron across the desk. So now this is the metaphysics shit. This stuff jumped out and grabbed the iron and pulled it into it. Michael Faraday is not a subscriber to action at a distance. There must be something in between that reached the iron and started pulling it towards it. Okay, otherwise this is not going to work. Einsteiners would probably space time or whatever it may be that's bending. There's nothing there.
So,
Faraday and JJ, no, there's something there.
is it so it said like what they say, if you've got an electrical current going through a wire, that there'll be these fields that surround it, right? So I've used an amp meter, like a clamp amp reader, and you stick it around the wire and it tells you how many amps are running through the wire, right? So presumably
Right.
it's measuring those currents. Now what's going on is if you wind the material in line, is it something like this anyway? On this question, but if you wind the material into those currents, into some sort of a similar geometry, is that what's causing this sort of induction moment or something that turns it into a full-blown magnet?
Nobody knows, my friend. Welcome to the end of electrical. Even Steinmetz started to crack this. The appearance of magnetism from the copper. There's no magnets in the battery. It's just, copper, zinc plates, and acid. Sweet. No magnets whatsoever. You got wire conductors, copper. Okay, now you short circuit the thing. You can move iron across a desk. It's like, what? Where's the magnetism coming from? Exactly. Current flow causes magnetism. The great discovery. This is huge. Without this, we wouldn't know. So magnetism is always an effect of electrical flow. You need electrical flow that gives you rise to magnetic fields. But the electric field, when that fabric starts to scrape across stuff, when you complete the circuit, aka geometrically bind it with the proper boundary conditions, now you have flow. And due to the flow, you get the rise of magnetism, appearance of magnetism from nowhere. There's no magnets in the circuit. Battery and wires and a load, a resistor. So where'd the magnets come from? There's no magnet. There you go. That's electromagnetism and the beginnings of electricity. And we studied this, and then Tesla, Maxwell comes right after that, trying to actually discover radio. He had the idea that perhaps this stuff we can convey it through space. He just never discovered it. It was Tesla right after. But Maxwell, all of his math, he was trying to discover radio.
And Tesla let Marconi have it. Literally.
Supreme Court, 1943 Supreme Court ruled that Tesla is the original inventor, so it doesn't even.
No, but he's.
Yeah.
If it's
I know.
what he said,
he didn't care.
Yep.
Yeah.
What
he didn't really. He said he moved on, right? He was so into the other research that he didn't care. He's like, okay, you can rob me for now. We'll duke it out later.
Oh yeah.
So and they did, and he won. So.
Well, that's like the Steinmetz. The motors that Tesla wound was not for what we call mechanical alternating current that we have today. So Steinmetz had to reconfigure the fucking electric motor to run off of what we call mechanical alternating current of today. Steinmetz was fucking brilliant, man. But even he had his limitations.
A good book, just for quick, J.J. Thompson. What is it? Electricity and Matter.
Yep.
See, he really got into it. Yeah, so and I am a big subscriber of JJ for sure. But he got the Nobel Prize as mainstream as they come, so it's like it's okay.
Yep, but he also agrees that electron is not a particle; it's not matter. They all agree.
It's the end of the Faraday tube. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Well, see, I love talking about this stuff. Like Michael Faraday, he had to come up with a name for these charges and these fields. And anyway, he came up with ion. Right? Cation goes to the cathode, anion goes anode, etc., etc. Positive charge, negative charge, and a lot of this works of these originators of energy synthesis is, how do I word, very important for people in the field to be aware of, because if not, then they're going to rediscover it again. And I think that's probably in order because all the units of measurement have been changed since that time, including frequency, because the second the second changed several times. Then we settled on the atomic second, and someone said, "Oh, that's so close it doesn't matter." I'm like, well, yeah, that's fine and dandy within a certain range, just like using pi rounded off. It works within a certain range. But when you scale out so far, or in so far, or however you want to word that, down or up, you're going to be off. That's why I like the Hamiltonian quaternion algebra way better than this vector calculus. But that's just my personal take on it. And that is the algebra that James Clerk Maxwell used as well. It's a 4D algebra that helps you allocate 3D location vectors, etc. And it was just deemed too complicated for the electrical engineers of the day. That was the reason given for abandoning this arithmetic.
Long-winded. It's a complex subject.
I'm genuinely interested in this subject, so if I seem a little excited, I apologize. But Cyrus, I guess you're already aware of this stuff. Whenever we go to looking for these things that were proven and demonstrated in the past, it's listed as dropped, non-existent, or forbidden.
I'm sorry, it was in text chat. For Bull Knight, right quick, you might like this for there's a little joke Eric Dollard likes to toss around. He says, "Keep your quarks out of my condenser." And I like that line a lot.
I just wish Dollard could afford a better VHS camera every now and then, but
For the stuff from the 80s is fire. Stuff in the garage, that's the best stuff ever, man.
literally filmed on a potato, but yeah, you're right.
Straight up potato quality, yes, sir. 100% potato. The hairpin circuit is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's a resonant circuit. It's like the
Yep.
what's it called? Like you're just transmitting down the antennas, essentially, and you're putting the load across the antenna. And
two coupled ones.
Yeah.
All right, Line's dropping some other stuff I'm interested in as well. Thank you. the harmonics and the roles it plays in what we call electrical, how we get three-phase, etc. It's just like this.
I would say yes, but there's no such thing as like discordance in electromagnetic frequencies like there is in harmonic audio frequencies, right? Like colored chords aren't more harmonic than some sort of like non-multiple interval. Whereas on a piano, you can play a note, 3 notes, and if they're not the right notes, it's like, ugh, don't do that again.
Right. There's no consonants.
The colors
It's
don't mix
dissonance.
in the same way.
Yeah, dissonance instead of consonants. And this is the problem that we run into using today's equal temperament instead of just intonation. And people were saying, oh, we can't use just intonation because we would have to retune all of our instruments for every song. And then also we have the Pythagorean comma problem to deal with. And I'm like, that's so simple to solve each song. But anyway, that's the reason why we have music set up as we do today.
I've got a, how long is this? Oh, it's not too long. 31-minute video just for you if you haven't seen it already.
Thank you.
All of this guy's videos are fantastic. But he spells out an alternate history. We were this close to having a 17-note scale.
Correct. We had a 16 for quite a while. And yeah, we were right there close to it.
And then he what is it called? He transposes songs you would recognize into the 17-note scale as a this is what they could have sounded like kind of thing. It's wild.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate this.
I share it every chance I get. Nothing makes my brain break like music theory parallel universes.
Well, you just have to take music theory and apply it to electricity.
Well,
exactly.
that's my
have
point.
the same exact
there's
thing.
not like
you have to have just intonation. It has to be legitimate harmonics.
Yep.
I'm talking
there's not
about
like a chord of light that
I'm not talking about this fucking modern music fuckery. I'm talking about in physics we have the fundamental and the overtones, right? Period. Game over. It's there. And in music,
oh, that's period. Yep.
Yep. Period.
Yeah, and I mean antennas have the same harmonic relationship. It's just that they're not tied to something aesthetic like music notes are.
Yeah, but see how like antennas is the geometry of the antenna, the length of the wire, whether it's quarter wavelength or half wavelength antenna, whatever it may be. It's crazy. It's the geometry of the wire will determine what frequency range it receives, just like music.
And not just
exactly
related to wavelength. Well, it's always related to wavelength, but it's also the shape, how it relates to itself, which is wild.
Yeah, because you'll have capacitance within the antenna and stuff like that. You know, depends how you wind it. You know, like a bifilar winding reduces the capacitance.
It alters the final impedance, which is the only thing that actually matters. But that is the direct combination of capacitance and inductance for a given frequency.
I was glad to be able to help with introducing the term admittance. Who was it that was teaching electrical? But anyway, he said
admittance and reactance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, see, you got admittance and susceptance. Then we have resistance and reactance. One is called the imaginary and one is called the real, right? But they're both real. They have both your susceptance you measure in Siemens, right? And we call the conductance Mohs. Or the opposite of ohms, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Ohm backwards, yeah.
Yep. And well, anyway, I had no idea that that wasn't known. So I was so glad I could help bring that. But you guys are bringing stuff back to me, and I sure appreciate this, man.
Now it's time to break out a Smith chart if we really want to kill the vibe in the room.
You're not killing the vibe. I'm enjoying this, dude.
I mean, a lot of people like to give imaginary numbers
reactance
shit for being imaginary, but like,
I love the square root of -1.
Impedance means it. It's real. I can measure the imaginary component of impedance in a system, and I can change it by adding physical parts. So it's like,
it's real.
Yeah, it's a number that, or it's a letter that represents something that effectively we can't comprehend, and yet it physically manifests and is interacted with physically in these circuits,
and we can
in intentional
evaluate
ways.
Yep,
right.
It's there.
It's happening. It was said that Steinmetz was allowed to create electricity from the square root of -1. Hush, hush, though. This is this is where we go. I'm going to take all the flat earthers there. Don't trip. I'm going to take them to the square root of -1.
That's
100%.
Dude, that's called forbidden now. I'm not joking. The things that were
It is forbidden, yeah.
Considered non-existent or forbidden. It is forbidden. And I mean, you can look into it for yourself. Don't take my word or anybody else's word. See? Yes, thank you, son.
Bro, is that like a hypnotic chart? I'm hypnotized.
You will want it to hypnotize you into a deep,
look at it,
restful slumber if you try to use it in real life. But it's a graph on the far. What is it? The
wavelength
far right
towards
represents
generator.
infinite. The horizontal axis is resistance, but the far right edge of this graph is infinite resistance, and the far left side is literally 0. So it's a graph from 0 to infinity on one plane, and then capacitive and inductive is like following the field lines there. It's wild.
Yep.
And a guy invented it. Did he name it a Smith chart after himself, or did somebody else be like, "Hey man, hey Smith, give me one of your charts"? And they're like, "It's a Smith chart now."
So, okay, is that what it's called? See, inductive reactance component, yeah, or capacitive susceptance.
Yeah.
Okay. Susceptance.
So like if you measure the impedance of a system, you get a point for a certain frequency. Where it is on this plot will tell you whether you need to add more capacitance or inductance to get it to where you want it to be.
That's a cool chart.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah, I think you did destroy the conversation. Let's talk about Faraday looping wires together.
Yeah.
And you pulled out the hypnotic chart, man. Nice.
Anyone who had to use them in school had PTSD attack right at that moment. And yeah, we're the ones left.
I feel bad. I feel bad for you. You had to use this in school? That sucks, dude.
I actually didn't. I picked it up later in life, but I commiserate.
You probably had to do it a way harder way then. This simplifies
Ironically,
things.
it's easier now because you have devices that are cheap enough to let you. You don't need the $20,000 vector network analyzer to figure this shit out anymore. It's $150 and it fits in your pocket.
What is it called?
A VNA, nano VNA.
Nano VNA. All right. What do you do for work? Radio stuff? What field are you work in?
Radio stuff is the hobby. Software is the day job.
Okay. Nice.
But I built a lot of antennas, so.
Cool. Nice, dude.
It's one of those things. It's like reading about it.
And you're familiar with the Dollard stuff?
Yeah. I've downloaded all his books. I haven't read through the whole thing, but I've watched what is that? The Radio Giants of the Pacific or something? The longer form video he has about Marconi, where he goes like where Marconi's installation was, and he's like checking out what's still left of it, talking about what it did.
There's some insulators on the wall and whatnot. I think it's
there's like concrete pillars still driven in the ground, and wells with just hovers over them where he did his grounding down to the salt water ground level, water level.
Right. That's the VHS potato quality stuff. Yes. Have you seen his lectures? Like he's got Origins of Energy Synthesis. I love that one. It's 4 hours, but it's phenomenal. And then
I mostly watch the ones where he's like poking at his equipment and talking about it in the garage, like you said. His lectures I haven't gotten into.
Yeah, he gave those in I think it was San Francisco Tesla Society or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Sweet.
They're better quality than the VHS. They're still not great, but.
I mean, I would like. Whenever Tesla comes up, I just want to be like, Tesla did what he did with access to nothing more than thinking about it a lot and what we can get at a Home Depot. Like he didn't have some secret components. It was all just physical stuff like copper and coils and insulators and an understanding that he built over time. And anybody can develop this understanding. I just wish more people would like get into it now. Like,
bro, don't lie to people. He had Home Depot. He had wood, copper, iron.
He would love
light bulbs. That's it, dude. No oscilloscope, no multimeter, nothing. Nope. No volt, no amp. Oh, look at the brilliance of bro. It's amazing. It's crazy, man. Wood, iron, copper, and light bulbs.
when people be like, "Oh, he had some secret technology," I'm like, well, if he did, any of us could recreate it with enough hard work and effort. And why don't we work on it more?
I think the truth is
I agree, brother. High five.
Victorian era, right? He had mentors who knew more Victorian science. Like the Victorian knowledge was just more available. Like we simply cannot imitate his mind frame because it's from an era gone by.
I also think that resulted in him being distracted by less. Like it was around that time that there was a mathematician who could actually claim to understand all math that had been invented up to that point. But no mathematician alive today can claim that because now it's diversified too much. Then you have to have a specialty. But in Tesla's day, like you could wrap your head around the all of human understanding up to that point and then iterate with that entire broad, massive foundation, which is a lot harder to do today because you get distracted. You go down your rabbit trail. You want to like get really deep into one subtopic, which we also have to do. But that generalist approach, I think, is.
Do you reckon Tesla was like on a lathe or something? Or how do you imagine he's actually building these contraptions? Or has he got someone there that's basically building it for him? Like is he designing on a piece of paper and instructing like a workshop crew in order to build the contraption? Because like, I don't know.
I don't think it was a crew. I think he had an assistant or two along with himself. There's plenty of evidence that he built a lot of himself.
Do you reckon he was on a lathe?
Which part of his life? Yeah, he had a machine shop, 100%. Which laboratory? Like we know, like laboratory by laboratory, you can follow Tesla's journey, and yeah, absolutely, they all had machine shops, 100%. When he got rich, dude, he had, the generators that generate electricity for the whole city. He had 3 of those Westinghouse generators chilling in his lab. So hold on, which stage of his life? You know what I mean? Like, when he got rich with Westinghouse, he had access to crazy equipment. Just, there you go, delivered to you from Westinghouse, So, but yeah, he definitely had machine shops, 100%. He made these devices. They're simple too, man. Yeah. You don't need much machining, right? Like, I don't see any of
think of how that simplicity let him iterate in a way that, I got to make a circuit board. I got to have a PCB spun up by PCB way. What if you didn't? What if you just like got your hands dirty again?
Sponsored by PCB. Yeah.
I mean, ironically, a breadboard that like a breadboard prototyping breadboard is called a breadboard because experimenters and amateurs at that time would steal their wives' bread cutting boards and screw their circuits into like they would make their circuits on the breadboard. And now that name stuck. That's why
Does that work? Wow. Didn't even know. Thank you. I always wondered, dude, why is this thing a breadboard?
If you search breadboard radio, like that was the first anybody got into it as far as like mass popular thing. Which is to think about, like you could go out into your garage and be like, hey babe, I need to borrow this so that I can talk to somebody 2 cities over without wires. And she'd be like, bullshit. No. I put this crystal here and I scratch this tiny wire on it and I make this coil and I throw a wire in the yard and I can talk to him through Morse code.
So you've looked into the telegraph and the stations that disconnected their batteries? This is where the Dollard stuff gets wild.
Oh yeah.
This one Dollard, yeah, he talks about they
like
had
regenerative radio, or regenerative receiver.
The early physicists, right, with the basic, so they had the battery stations and all that, and somebody was like, hey, let's use Earth as one ground to save half of the conductor and all that. Physicists resisted. No, Earth is so large, it's going to chew up all the electricity. They did it anyways, and it worked.
Yeah, and now we're like, right? Oh yeah, half my antenna is the ground of the Earth. Like, that's
works just fine.
If you're far away from the coast, you put a little copper in it, you augment the Earth a little bit, but it's still the ground of the Earth, mirroring an entire half of your antenna. Every AM transmitter, like broadcasting station, is built that way.
Oh yeah, but back in the days of the telegraphers, the physicists of the day absolutely resisted the idea. Earth is so large and massive, the Earth, and it would swallow up all the electricity from the battery. But they were wrong. It worked. So it's like, all right. Oliver Heaviside, when he hit the scene with the cross of the Atlantic telegraph line, it didn't work. Physicists said this diffusion theory. You just need stronger signal. They did it. Didn't work. Oliver was like, no. The wire's eating up the magnetic portion of the signal. So wrap it in magnetic tape.
Yeah.
They resisted it. There's no way, Bob. Yeah, they did it, and it worked. What do you know? So Oliver was right. Oliver Heaviside. Yeah. We'd have never had that signal.
Yeah, ionosphere named after him, so you can't be that wrong.
No, man, he wrote the curriculum still. You go to school, I bet you learn Heaviside, electromagnetic theory, 1 and 2. All my friends failed. Like, yikes. It's like, bro, if I wish I would have knew about Oliver, I would have given them, here, here's Steinmetz and Oliver Heaviside. Hopefully you pass this stuff easier. They wrote the curriculum, so just learn it from them instead of whatever your professor's teaching you. So I don't know. All my friends failed it, dude. It's crazy. Consistently, like, it must have been horrendous.
There's a really great Army Corps of Communication Corps training video from the early 40s where they just call all of these phenomena a convenient miracle. And I think it's basically the best explanation for it. Like, there's nothing that there's no reason this all should be possible in this realm, and yet it is. And it just is too damn convenient. It's just, what?
You tell me why, when I have a evacuated envelope, and I have a positive plate and a negative plate, and I have another plate, a grid in between, and I electrify that, how is it that it amplifies the signal? How? And how is it with the same exact thing I can also detect signal? How? Like, bro, magic, convenient magic.
You load the plate, and what do you do? What's the second step? I haven't actually put my hands on a tube amp, but
from these army videos, bro, those army videos are the shit. You go into tubes. It's that simple. You just load the plate. I forgot which voltage, positive, I think. And that's it. And then you put the signal through either from a microphone or whatever, and it'll amplify for you. And it's that simple. Super easy. And you can have a DC battery running your tube, and amplify your AC signal in it or whatever, and use it as a detector in a reverse.
And wasn't most of the final applications of the vacuum tube were like accidental discoveries of like, oh wait, it can do this. I think. I don't think anybody expected that
all of them.
That the electrons to radiate off the heated element like that.
No, JJ, 19 something, early 1900s, discovers that. JJ and Rutherford and Mr. Roentgen, X-rays. They're all playing with CRT tubes, cathode ray tubes. And out of the cathode ray, they discovered, well, then hold on, there's other stuff here. What is this stuff? So yeah, it is accidental. It's pretty cool. I think the tube era was the best. I bet you everyone still has a vacuum tube device in their house, but they just don't know about it. They're still holding on.
Literally everyone.
What's up?
Well, what do you think it would be? Like, well, would a CRT screen count?
No, not a CRT screen. I'm not counting that one. No.
I only have two in my house.
Yes, a CRT would,
which is ironic.
Well, that's a vacuum tube for sure. It's a CRT.
Yeah.
So actually, an electron gun, which is pretty cool because you can cut the electron gun off from old CRTs and use it for whatever. You can make maybe a scanning electron. Hopefully, one day, God willing, I'll get into that.
That'd be sick.
It's a serious project. I was like, all right, that's a 10-year project. Lots of money. Just take it easy.
Have you seen this? The guy who made a particle accelerator in his garage out of basic parts like that.
Oh, nice! I haven't seen that.
And it is effectively just an electron beam, but
CRT.
In a long enough tube.
Right. Okay.
Now, I've talked about this before. How the Crookes radiometer started off as like some sort of supernatural detector, and it was actually invented for some sort of like a seance type thing. And then come to find out, it had more application to it, and then that led to the CRT tube set television, the cathode ray tube, and then the cathode ray tube led to the particle accelerator, and then the particle accelerator ended up morphing into the LHC, the Hydra Collider, CERN, which some say is some sort of another supernatural sort of hallmark, I guess. But I don't know. It's just kind of weird how it started off with some sort of supernatural detector and ultimately led to some sort of a supernatural device, at least some claim. So, anyways.
Yeah, there are some who hold to the notion that unless you observe like the original thing in nature, then it's not an experiment. It isn't science. There's been someone's been going around talking about lasers that way. Like, well, there aren't any lasers in nature, therefore, lasers are not scientific, and experiments involving lasers are not either. But obviously, like that's just I don't know. That's overly limiting for what? For no gain.
Come on. There's no CRT tubes in nature either. It's like,
I know, right?
What's the difference between laser and sun?
Prior to the laser that we have, there was the original laser that was invented by Dennis Gabber, which was the pseudo laser, which essentially was a mercury arc lamp. So that was the original laser.
Have you seen their mercury rectifiers?
Yes, sir. If you have one, send it to me. I'll buy it for you. Yes, mercury arc
I don't think I'm
rectifier.
allowed to
Yes,
ship
sir.
Don't forget the masers were first.
I'll drive.
Yep, they were in microwave lasers, or masers were first, and they worked their way into optics.
Dude, if you got one of them like gigantic old school mercury arc rectifiers, like I will drive to you.
All you need is a friend who can blow glass and someone with way too much mercury on their hands.
I've got into glass blowing, okay, but do you have that much mercury on hand? Like you got bro, some of those things had so much mercury in them. It's insane.
Cody's lab does.
All right.
What's he gonna do with it? Email him.
Right in Utah or whatever. Give him a visit. Like, hey, bro.
Yeah.
Let me grab a gallon of mercury off of your head.
Carefully lift in a using a forklift or a front loader a gallon of mercury. How much would a gallon lift?
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna pick that up.
So mercury is like a super controlled substance, right?
113 pounds. It's not super controlled if you have it in a jar or want to trade or buy it or sell it. It's super controlled if you want to pour it out into a stream and get rid of it.
You can't ship it on an airplane because they're aluminum and
it'll melt
mercury amalgamates. Yeah, amalgamates aluminum. It'll just go into the metal and turn into soup. An oxide like hairs. Hairs out of the metal.
Per gallon, so you're not taking very much on an airplane with these luggage claim rates.
So is that like mercury? It's like it's an acidic metal or something. It just rips apart the other alloys.
It's a solvent. It's a metal solvent, effectively.
Well, there's three types of mercury. So which one are you specifically referring to?
Metallic? I was saying metallic, not organic.
I didn't know there were three types.
The shiny silver stuff that the Chinese guy had buried with him in his tomb with the ceramic soldiers, terracotta soldiers.
I think there's only, I think it's one out of the three that's harmful. Could be two out of the three, but if memory serves me correct, it was only one of them that was actually harmful.
It's the vapor of like metallic mercury you don't want to breathe. So don't heat it up.
Like all day, every day, and in a closed surface. Yeah.
Yeah. Mad Hatter's disease. Right? Makes you go crazy.
And don't fall for those red mercury scams. That's just fake.
You don't want to buy my Singer sewing machine?
I'll buy your Singer sewing machine. How much is it?
Oh, that's a rabbit trail too. Oh my god.
It's got the red mercury. I got you.
Yeah. That'll get you off the beaten path of like English YouTube real quick into weird territory.
That's a cool rabbit hole. Alchemy will get you there. Dude, what was the original topic? I'm so lost now.
Vibrations or some shit. Charges, electrons.
Oh, electrons, right.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you before I think you made the statement of reflective substances in nature are conductive.
Yeah, we open up Mr. Oliver Heaviside Electromagnetism Volume 1, and you'll see that. A conductor, electrical conductor, must be capable of reflection. Like, you can see yourself in it.
Like you don't have to buff it out, no, but inherent into the substance, it's capable of reflection. Versus like wood, wood doesn't reflect.
And then clear substances like air, water, mineral oil, or capacitors.
Well, actually, I was going to touch on oil. Plastics are reflective. Glass is conductive, isn't it? Silica.
No,
Is that right?
no, it is. That's So like you can dielectric. polish marble, but that's not what they mean.
So
Polishing a non-reflective surface into reflectivity is not quite the same. I don't think that's what he's getting at.
Well, okay, that's what I wanted to sort of get an understanding of.
No, like metallic, essentially. Like, I mean, you can probably make some polymer, plastic, and some metal dust, and make the plastic somewhat conductive. But you know, you're still putting the reflective material in it. So we're just talking about like inherent reflection of the like silver. Silver is the best conductor. Just nothing can come close to silver.
But like a tree is made of carbon, and carbon is said to be very conductive. Is a diamond conductive?
Carbon is conductive, but it's something like 1,000 the conductivity of copper, like graphite anyway. Graphite, exactly. It depends on which form. Yeah,
Carbon nanotubes
could be really conductive. But even diamond is not very conductive. It is just able to conduct. It's not a resistor. Well, it is a resistor. It's just not.
I think diamond is more conductive than gold. There's something about diamond that
it's thermally conductive than gold. More thermally conductive, yes, but electric, it's far less.
Okay.
And I looked this up when somebody said it like 3 weeks ago because I was like, wait,
yeah, that was me. That was me.
Rakia was going on about it, but I'm sure he heard it from you. That's a strange property, by the way. Usually, if things conduct electricity well, they also conduct heat well. Yeah. So for a diamond to conduct heat well, but electricity pretty shitty, it's kind of weird. It's like interesting. Is there an electromagnetic reason why the most reflective surfaces are conductive metals? Is that conductivity part of their ability to reflect EM radiation?
I think it's specifically the dielectric. It's reflecting. It's a dielectric reflector. Reflector is what it's referred to, at least from like Steinmetz and such. Meaning you still have another component there, being the magnetic. So, anyways. You got to understand electricity in terms of dielectric and magnetic, right? Simultaneously inducing one another to create current, and they essentially bounce back and forth from one to another. So as the dielectric has lost, the magnetic increases, and vice versa.
Yeah, in an LC circuit. Inductor and capacitor, they're conjugates of one another. Like if you have a fully charged inductor, okay, which is a coil of wire, it can have whatever magnetic core, air core, doesn't matter right now. It can hold magnetic fiber structure or magnetic field lines, all right? And when it's fully charged, it's closed circuit. Right? Cool. If you have a capacitor, when a capacitor is fully charged, it's open circuit. Right? It's not a closed circuit. But if you were to attach these two, let's say if you have a coil of infinite resistance, right? Like your inductor doesn't have resistance, which is whatever, but let's say it doesn't have resistance, and you charge that up and you connect it to a capacitor, it's going to release its the magnetic fiber structure is going to collapse on itself. And when it does that, it's going to induce a charge. It's going to run down, the between the conductors and charge up the capacitor dielectrically. Okay? And because of the capacitor is now
You can call the capacitance. Inside it's not, it's open circuit, but the capacitor now short circuited to the inductor is going to fire back the electricity, charging up the inductor and creating a resonant circuit, an LC circuit. But in reality, there's resistance, so it's not going to resonate forever. There's resistance in the wires, and it chew up some of that energy, and the wave is going to dissipate over time. Is that a plastic gear, linear gear that you wanted the coil on?
It's exactly what it is.
Ah, nice, dude.
Because they're cheap.
I was like, he's not gonna machine all that. He's gonna find a workaround.
No,
What is this thing? Yep.
I don't.
Nice,
It seems silly thing to 3D print too. That seems like the fallback. Like, well, 3D print it. I'm like, well, what shape are you 3D printing? Somebody probably already makes something that shape, and you can get them far cheaper than
like $1, whatever.
I think I got 50 for $1.
Nice. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, but it's got an alligator lead on the one side, so I can short it to make it a shorter coil, depending on the length of the linear element on the other side.
Is there a picture in Livestream that you guys are referring to or something?
Posted at 30 after down.
30 after that.
What band is this? What band are you operating on?
That'll get a 15 foot, 17 foot vertical radiating element to tune at 40 meters, which would normally require much longer, like a 25 foot vertical. So it allows you to work with shorter radiating elements because they're just mechanically easier when you don't need massive efficiency. There's always a trade-off.
Right. Gotcha. Nice. This is cool, man. I got to get into some of this stuff for sure.
Yeah, you do.
Sure. Been reading too much about Tesla stuff. Don't trip. I'm building a laboratory and get back on the Tesla stuff. Disruptive discharge transmission, baby. Yes. All right, where's my Faraday cage? Immediately, he's like, oh my God.
Right. You don't have a Faraday cage. I just got Faraday boxes as required, but
yeah, container, shipping container or something. I mean, with the Tesla stuff, it goes through the metal, I guess. That's when you're successful. It's like, metal doesn't stop it. You've succeeded. But now this sucks because metal doesn't stop it. So how do I keep on playing with it and shield it? You can't. It's like, it sucks.
Yeah, there were potentially a lot of downsides to the whole Tesla free energy thing that often get lost in the, well, what if we didn't have to pay electricity bills? But I don't think modern semiconductor computer
No
technology would have been
reality.
compatible with air full of Tesla waves. Everything would just arc out immediately the moment you tried to invent it.
Goodbye, computer. Kiss that computer goodbye. However, bro, you would have lag-free internet, instantaneous transmission if we use the Alexanderson system antenna. Apparently, when they tried it out, RCAT equals 0. It's like, excuse me, what? That's what Dollard said. So it's like, okay. There was no time delay between transmission and reception. It's like, what do you mean? Anyways.
Didn't the whole Tesla power system have something to do with conducting the energy through the ground as well?
Yeah, it was telluric, Earth-based. Amplification was like crazy, according to Colorado Springs. It was like 20 to 1 or something like that.
Yeah. So if it was in the Earth, it wouldn't. If it was in the Earth, not in the air, it wouldn't really affect the circuits, would it? You just stick your fucking thing in the ground, and I don't know. I don't know how that would actually work.
No,
Though. I don't know. I
the
don't know
Earth
how
is
much of it
half of
was
it.
fucking BS and how much of it was real, though, too. Because the guy
Earth
said
was
he was
half of
talking to
it.
The guy said he was talking to Martians. So
Just get a little book, How to Talk to Martians. You can do it yourself. You just talk about sending a signal, radio waves.
have you talking to Yoda yet?
No, don't know who that
Ah,
is.
shit. You're not high enough.
Is he one of the Martians? Yeah, I haven't sent my transmission. I'll read Tesla's booklet on it, and God willing, one
He's
day we'll do it
something.
together.
Yoda's short for Yod He
I
Vav
want to try it.
He.
Now, you talk about the nature of these waves. They don't like transistors, so they're just, they don't do well. They're just, what happens to your transistorized circuit is develops a hole in the semiconductor. It doesn't cook because these discharges are so sharp with respect to time, and there's so much amplitude. It just blows a hole in the semiconductor. It doesn't have time to cook it. Like that's due to like an inductive load will cook, or like a inductive resistor will glow red hot. That's due to current flow. But sharp discharges will just blow a hole in the weakest point, which is a semiconductor in the circuit. So you have to go back to tubes essentially with the Tesla stuff. So yeah, I don't know if the digital computer would work well off of that sort of electrical circuit, especially if you're using ground and it's got this sort of stuff in it. It's like, meh, or with the air, ground, whatever. It's the nature of the current that he discovered. Steinmetz, that talks about it in his book. It's what it is. It's an impulse to discharge. But the idea was like on an oscilloscope, right? If the discharge was theoretically, with respect to time, it got discharged so fast, right? T equals 0 or near 0, asymptotically reaching 0. It's going to be a vertical line on your oscilloscope, and it will not show up because it's just straight up discharge and comes back. But you will see the dissipating wave bit as it slowly dissipates back. And the idea is to create the transmission in these very short, sharp discharges. Extremely short with respect to time. You want to really minimize the time aspect to shun, he said, the magnetic portion of the circuit. So he's transmitting like not electromagnetically, according to his stuff. He shunned it out with the magnetically quenched spark gap he had in his apparatus.
Do you think
to keep the
there's anything
magnetism
to
from
the?
hopping onto it.
Do you think there's anything to the claim that those are like longitudinal waves versus transverse waves?
Yes, yeah, I do believe so. They're like shock waves in mechanical or like fluid mechanics. Like a shock wave in a pipe sort of thing. A mechanical shock wave, you can say it's like an electrical shock wave. It's like linear.
But isn't the wave front of any EM transmission the same? It's just a lower intensity. That initial wave front is gonna be a uniform kind of expanding surface area, just like a transverse wave would be. But then once you're inside that bubble, that's when they become longitudinal, or other way around. But
yeah, okay, I'm with you in the bubble. But like with the Tesla stuff, I need to replicate this, right? Of course, this is where it begins. He went from the exploding wire experiment to this, to not explode the wire, and he coiled it up. But he still got the same effects. Jerry Vasilato's documents it well in his Lost Science book. The Lost Science by Jerry Vasilato. Great read. It's the magnetically quenched spark gap out of the whole system. That one was it's like, thank you. And then I was able to find like schematics for it. But I didn't know, what do you mean you gotta keep the magnetism for hopping onto your... So he had his capacitive discharge, and the spark gap, then the primary, secondary, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. So you can't have it go on to the primary. Which is interesting. It's like, okay. So it's a disruptive discharge circuit with a magnetically quenched spark gap. And then some fellows later in the so-called, like, free energy research, you'll see that same exact circuit gets replaced by vacuum tubes. Forgot which one was it, Edwin Gray or the other guy. He had a really interesting tube design. Very weird. But it used this cold electricity, this non-harmful stuff, as Tesla reported. It's weird. Like I said, this is, got to replicate it. This has just been documented, and cool. Should be able to replicate it according to Dollard, right? You do not modify the historical research that you're doing. Just do it as is with their mindset.
is Dollard still alive? I feel like it's a dumb question, but his website's still up. But it's like they're still accepting payments for the books, and
he is.
But also, it hasn't been updated in since 1992. As far as it's got modern content, but they
still hold conferences, I think, in Idaho.
I need to put that on my book list.
Eric P. Dollard, I think, his new website, or if you just Google him, Aaron Murakami picked him up back in 2012, and destruction of his. He was trying to recreate the. So the only reason I actually believe in all this stuff, the Tesla longitudinal waves, for a reason. Dollard did something back in the 80s, and he's got photos of it that are phenomenal. And the replication of it wasn't so good. It's called the Cosmic Induction Generator, where you have two of these Tesla transmission coils, the tertiaries, right? So you got, your flat pancake, secondary and primary. Then your tertiary is not so vertical. It's a square coil. And you have two of those firing at 180 degrees out of phase. And in between, when he put an empty light bulb, like a burnt out light bulb, interesting stuff happens. Very interesting discharges happen inside of the bulb. I can pull up pics. Hold on. And because of that, it's like, okay, there's something there, man. For real. Like, I don't know what it is theoretically, but this is cool stuff.
Yep, looks like he's still alive. Is Eric P. Dollard? It's that Giants of the Pacific website that's dinosaur in the most nostalgic way.
I posted a diagram of what I think you're talking about, Cyrus.
Yes, sir. That's it. That's correct. So this would be the primary and the secondary. And then the extra coil, which is like the magnifying transmitter, is the tertiary. And it took me 10 years of listening to Dollard's, like all of his contents and just studying the books that he said. to finally understand the genius of Tesla. It was kind of, in theory, what's going on. You know how you always need a ground to push for the circuit? Yeah, you have to complete the circuit. You got to ground somewhere. So the idea is, how do we transmit into Earth? Okay, without grounding into it, where do we ground? The idea is to ground into, well, negative counter space, square root of -1, but virtual Earth, you can call it. So that tertiary coil, from what Dollard says, behaved at, and he said it was tuned to Earth's natural frequency, whatever that meant, right? I don't know how he did it, but that's what Dollard's findings were. And he said that acted as a virtual Earth. So you can kick the current down now vertically, which is so interesting. It's like, so you're using the antenna portion as a virtual Earth and kicking down this short DC impulses, you can call it, or impulse train. And then you get a reflection back that's stronger than the transmission that gets amplified by the Earth. So that was interesting stuff. That's what, Tesla found in Colorado Springs. But that tertiary, but yeah, that's the diagram. Then there's one more coil that goes, instead of the sphere, the terminating sphere, boom, you put your tertiary coil. Extra, what Tesla called the extra coil.
And that white cold energy you're talking about, he referred to it as ether flow. Radiant energy also.
And he said it behaved like fluid under pressure. Yeah, that's the one, the white fire bit, where he said it was clearly not corona discharged, as everybody, he knows what corona, and when Tesla says it's not coronal discharge, I know, like, okay, it's not coronal discharge, then what is it, man? Like, what do you mean? Because all I know is the corona discharge. So, and he said, no, you don't want corona discharge. Blue fire, no. That's a no in the circuit. Interesting.
Apparently, he first noticed that when you ran a current through a magnet, and on one side came the blue regular current, and on the other side it was this white, cold, he called it ether flow. Crazy stuff.
Here's a good website that's got most of Dollard's stuff under like one domain. You could just download the books and the videos and all that.
And also what's freaky, that spark plug, spark gap technology, which he fed through a what looks like a light bulb, had attractive properties. So it would attract paper, would attract metal to it once you turn it on, unlike a regular light bulb. I think I posted that one for you, Cyrus.
Oh, dude, yeah, that one is cool. I've seen the old VHS experiment, man, with the sheet of copper hanging, and he just switches the current from normal current to Tesla current mode, and you see the copper just stick to the bulb, and it glows much brighter. It's like, what in the world is going on here?
That's the one.
There's stuff being, there's stuff being ejected out of the bulb. Obviously, it's like, this is interesting. So it is not normal current, And we need to have, like, I don't know, video or like lecture sessions, you can just see electrical experiments. They're pretty cool.
Too bad they went with the nonsense of Einstein and didn't stick with Tesla.
That's a funny meme you posted. Yeah, dude, we gotta experiment, man, with this stuff for sure. Gotta revive it. Do we have any units for Einstein? Like 2 Einsteins or 3 Einsteins? Or no? Any units attributed to that guy?
No, we have fabrics, imaginary fabrics of freaking space-time.
Oh, we do. No, we have a condensate. Actually, we have a condensate. It's called the what is it? Bose-Einstein condensate. Hold on. Let me brush up on my Narnia. Give me a minute. Give you accurate Narnia.
Yeah, there is such a thing. Well, claim.
There was a unit of Einstein, but it's obsolete.
Yes, the Bose-Einstein condensate. It's a real thing. The BEC. That was right.
No,
So
it is
there's
not a real.
condensate.
No, it is not a real thing.
No, I mean in Narnia. I was reporting accurate Narnia. My bad. In the fiction, we are told yes, it is reported.
Bose-Einstein
It's a real thing.
condensate? Yeah, that's a real thing. That got Nobel Prize for that, I think.
What is it? Is it a
That is
photon?
not a
What is it?
real
What
thing. That
happened?
is not a real thing, and that prize doesn't mean anything.
Oh, it doesn't mean anything. Just $1 million, huh?
No, they're giving it to all of Epstein's friends. What are you talking about? They gave out like 20 of them to pedophiles.
Right. Right. You named 20 of them that were?
Fuck, dude, like everyone in the past 5 years have all been Epstein's boy.
As soon as the name Einstein comes along, they freak out. They have to.
Yeah,
They
2001 Nobel
support.
Prize in Physics.
Yeah.
Einstein just plagiarized everything and didn't even come up
Right.
with anything good.
Right.
Bro, he's got a condensate named after him in the ether. It condenses in the ether, and then something comes out. Whatever, it's a sphere of something. It's hat shaped, always like a sombrero. Whatever that
Isn't
means.
that an imaginary space where a whole bunch of, what is it, atoms or molecules behave as one? Isn't that what that is? My memory serves me.
Bose-Einstein condensate is a unique state of matter where atoms cooled near absolute zero lose their individual identities and merge into a single quantum entity acting like one superatom, exhibiting wave-like
Exactly what I
properties on
just
a
said.
microscopic scale. Similar lasers, photons are coherent.
It is what you said, man. He's reading the
Predicted
brochure.
predicted by Bones and Einstein, 1920, first created 1995, and the guys won the Nobel Prize in 2001.
Oh, that
So
must be
did they
legitimate.
did they condense it
Yeah, they made the
after
most.
all? Oh shit! What did it look like?
You have to see the pictures.
All right, let me see. You posted the pictures. Actually, want to
Nope.
see. You got them?
Nope.
I have graphs. I got sombrero graphs. I mean, you should got pictures of this. Yeah, that's what they call it. It's always a sombrero. I found a picture of a cool cuvette, a little glass cuvette, and that looks pink, and that's it. I don't know what I'm looking at. Is that the condensate? The green light?
I wonder where technology would be if we didn't follow these numbskulls like Einstein.
Well, you wouldn't be here today. You would not be
See how
talking
he
on the
can't let me
internet.
finish the sentence? You see that instant trigger? I didn't even
You'd ha-
say that. I didn't even finish the sentence.
You know, it might be a better world because the internet wouldn't be around. We wouldn't have transistors, and you wouldn't be here saying "nuh-uh."
You wouldn't even be able to breathe oxygen if it weren't for Einstein. I mean, you should be just bowing down and thanking him that you can
I
even
know,
breathe.
bro. I know.
Immediately went on the defensive.
Right
What
away,
were
the
you going to say,
shields
though?
come up.
Let's see.
You saying that?
Immediately, and he started firing. Ah, Einstein, yes.
Yeah, that's what you mean. We wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have to listen to you over the internet because we wouldn't have Einstein.
How? I would think the telegraphy guys, right? The telegraph
Yeah, except
for
that
the internet.
we need transistors. We need quantum theory. We need lasers.
Transistors? He didn't discover semiconductors. Which semiconductor did Einstein discover?
Oh my God.
What? Which one? What? Silicon carbide or which one? What? Tell me. Which semiconductors? I don't think he discovered any of them.
Mm-hmm. You understand that they just didn't like throw a bunch of shit together and, something. Hey, look, it works like a transistor.
I like semiconductors. I don't know too much about it, but I don't think any of the discoveries were by Einstein. I can look it up.
Not,
Unless you know the
by
specific
himself.
semiconductor that he discovered.
By himself, no. He laid the theory down, though.
For semiconductors? Whatever, NASA shill. You just want to defend your champion.
We wouldn't have lasers.
Bro, he didn't even. No, the first laser was like invented in the 60s, the ruby laser. It wasn't
Exactly.
even Einstein. What
You-
the fuck?
you-
What does
you think-
Einstein have to do with a ruby laser?
Right. Because, they just one day said, hey, why don't we put all this shit together and it might make a ruby laser?
How did you know that the ruby? So Einstein, based on his theory, they theorized that the ruby can be used as a gain medium due to Einstein's field equation. Like, how does this work, bro? I like the lasers. It's just an acronym for light amplification by stimulated emission. Oops,
of radiation.
radiation. Yeah, there we go. So it's like, okay, he didn't discover any laser or anything.
Okay. Right.
But he laid out the theory for it, I guess. I don't know. Explain to me how.
I don't think I can, because you basically you're denying it. So you need to discover for
No,
yourself.
man, I studied the MIT course on lasers, like fundamentals, and I took the other course too. Like I'm down, man. I missed the part with Einstein where Einstein came in. I could get the lectures for you and post them. Perhaps I missed it. I don't know, man. It's been a minute.
Are you gonna explain it, NASA Chill, or
no?
You're just gonna try to use that hour. You say, well, you wouldn't understand it anyways. You're gonna do that instead of actually explain it to everybody because you don't know, basically.
He was the guy who proposed the stimulated emission, where you can put one photon and trigger an identical photon. Is basically he explained the photoelectric effect, and by explaining that, he set everybody on the road to the laser.
It's funny. The one thing I agree with Einstein, and that's the thing they say he got wrong.
What's that?
The EPR paper with instant spooky action at a distance. The one thing I agree with him. The rest of the brainiacs say he got that wrong. You're aware of what I'm talking about?
Spooky action? Do you believe in that?
No, they did the EPR paper. I'm talking about entanglement, right? Where two things get entangled, and you send one at the other side of the universe and one here. And let's say one is spinning clockwise, the other one is spinning counterclockwise. When you look at one here, let's say it's spinning clockwise, then you instantly know the other one is spinning counterclockwise. And that violates the speed of light law, the law of the speed of light that Einstein came up with, that it can't travel faster, right? And that breaks it right there. So Einstein is right about that. How could information, but to get away from that, they say, well, information doesn't get sent. Well, how is that? If one knows what the other one did at a distance greater than the speed of light, you see what I'm saying? Did I explain it correctly, or do I need to do more?
Well, there's really no information being transmitted, though. It's one or the other.
How's that? How's that?
Well, I mean, you disagree with it, so I don't know if I can get you in, because I've tried to talk to you on something simple earlier today and didn't get that. I don't know if I can get into it.
Right away with ad homs. Right away.
I mean,
Literally, okay, wait, they're not wrong because they literally defined information in physics after that experiment. So, like, if you're going to be like, how is information not sent? Well, you got to go look at their definition that they gave it. They literally tailor-made the definition after that experiment, bro.
Oh, they just made it up. Yeah, exactly.
So they're not wrong, right? They made an experiment and they said, given the results of experiments, we're going to define information in physics as, then they're not going to be wrong about that experiment, right? Because they specifically designed the word to match the experiment.
No, they just made it up. They just made up bull. If you want to believe it, that's up to you. But if one thing does something and the other thing way across the universe knows it instantaneously, that's information. Now they could say, well, that's not really information being passed, but that's ridiculous. How do you know the switch is down instantly when the other switch is up, right? When you throw a switch here and the switch is down, then you know instantly across the universe at a distance further than the speed of light can transmit the information. If that one knows, first of all, how do they know it knows? And second of all, wouldn't that be information transfer? Now they could say it isn't, but think about it. How is that possible?
Like, when you use the word information, you're using it in a colloquial sense. Whereas when they're using the word information, it is quite literally like a definition formed and melded so that it can work with that experiment and the results of that experiment. We could try and find the actual definition they use, but it quite literally was invented so that when they say no information is traveled, that specific sentence is true because they redefined information to have a different meaning in physics than it does in colloquial speak.
Well, I'm sorry, bro. You can't change the meaning of a boy to be girl just because you say so, right? I'm not saying you. You can't change the meaning of it. Just say, well, that's not the meaning of information. And just say, well, that works with their, it doesn't. If you think so,
And
they
they do it all the time in science and legal and legalese and shit. That's all they do.
yeah, but we can call it out as bull, as you know. I mean, I'm calling it out, and so did Einstein, Rosen, and Petonsky. I think I always get the other guy's name wrong. So it's funny. The one thing that I think he got right, they say that he got wrong. It's quite amazing. But as far as one thing knowing what the other one did instantaneously without information travel, I mean that's just magic. I mean, there's no other way to put it. If one thing knows what the other one did, that is definitely information transfer. There's no way around that. Here, I'll give you another example. When they say nothing can travel faster than the speed of light, right? Then they find galaxies, which they claim, now this is in their paradigm, I'm not saying I believe this. Then they find something in their paradigm that travels faster than the speed of light, galaxies or stars. And instead of saying, oh, we got it wrong, what did they come up with? Well, it's not that, it's the space that's traveling faster than the speed of light. It's another nonsense thing that they came up with. Now, just because they came up with it doesn't mean you have to believe it, right?
I agree. Yeah, I agree. But like, I wouldn't say like like if I were to basically. I'm sorry, I'm dealing with some fucking Asian drivers. God damn it. I need to take deep breaths, bro. I'm sorry. Sorry. Give me
Remember that
these guys.
Theo
This
Von
is
clip.
so.
He says he only gets racist when he's in traffic.
Dude, this. Oh my god, bro. I actually had to take a deep breath. I almost screamed at the top of my lungs. Yeah, like if I was gonna, have a debate, I would just be like, yo, I'm speaking about information colloquially speaking, not by your guys' definition. Cause like until you make that clarification, like you're not really correct. Like you need to,
No, bro, there is no clarification that you can make there. They just made up a story so they won't admit they're wrong. There is no way to clarify that something. If you believe in the speed of light, you can travel faster than the speed of light, right? If you go by their paradigm, there's no clarification that you can make here. You can say, well, information didn't travel, and then I'm going to ask you then how does one thing know what the other one did instantaneously? There's no clarifying that. You can just say, well, no information. You can just say it didn't happen. It's like I put a glass of water in front of you and you can say, well, that's not a glass of water. Does that explain it away? You see what I'm saying, Noah? There's no way out of this. There just isn't.
No, I see what you're saying, but basically what happened was you said there's a glass of water there. They said that's not a glass of water. And they said, look, we have a definition for glass of water. And then when you went to go look at their definition of a glass of water, it said a animal with 4 legs and hair that says woof. And then so you're like, oh, by their definition of glass of water, it isn't a glass of water. But by my definition of glass of water, it definitely is. So like that's the thing is they changed the definition. So like by their tongue, they're correct. And by your tongue, you're correct. It's like the Tower of Babel. You're both speaking past each other. So you have to clarify which sense of the word you're using it in. Because in English, which is which, We have many meanings for the same word.
No, I would say it's a fork tongue. There's no such thing. You can change a glass of water. You can rename it, right? But you can't change what it is.
That's
You
what they
can't
did. They
change.
redefined the word.
You can't change the knowledge of what one thing did, and the other one knows that it did it. You can attempt to do it, but someone like me is going to call you out for it. There's either you can travel faster than the speed of light, or you cannot. There's no two ways about it. You can't make, well, in this case, we did, but it wasn't really that. Like it was a boy, but it wasn't really a boy, it was a girl. I mean, you can't do that. Well, for me, I mean, if you choose to believe it, I mean, that's entirely up to you. And I'm saying the colloquial you. They get it. They do that all the time. They have dualities, like it's open and closed, right? Earth system. It's open, but yet it's closed. So there's duality all over the place in their pseudoscientific model. Same with gravity. You have Newtonian, mass attracting mass, a force, and then you have Einsteinian, the fabric of space-time, not a force. And they tell you it's the same. Well,
it's the same.
sure.
I keep telling you it's the same. You keep saying no.
See? There you go.
Why do you keep saying no? Because you don't understand you can derive Newton from Einstein.
I hope you're listening, Pinky, because yesterday you accused me of lying again, and you just heard him say it. I hope you're listening.
Newton is a subset of Einstein. They're the same thing. Sorry. Two different ways to explain the same thing.
Like I said, you guys have to have duality, dialetheism.
Nope, no duality involved.
It is
Sorry, no
what it is.
dialetheism. Nope, it's your mind isn't able to understand this, I'm afraid.
Even though I just explained it.
Even though you just explained it badly.
Well, correct me. How is it? How did I explain it bad? Correct me. Explain as Newtonian and then explain as Einsteinian. Go ahead. Are you going to go on it? I'm not here to teach you mode, or look it up yourself, or Google it?
I'm really not here to try to teach you this, and it's basically
you wouldn't even get it if he told you.
That's correct. I mean, I've learned from being here long enough that it's just not. It's not. I mean, I've told you how many. I mean, this morning you can even get the fact that we can measure the gradient, and that's observable. I'm not going to teach you something like Einsteinian physics.
Well, maybe that's the conflict you have. You think you're here to teach somebody, but this is a live stream. So there's an audience listening. So whatever you say, everybody's listening. So if you have something to say, the ears that are listening are who you have to speak to. Whereas you seem conflicted thinking that you have to change the person you're talking with's view, or you have to get them to understand something. That's not really, it's a live stream. So if you have a point to make your point. Doesn't really matter whether you change someone's mind or what they think or what their understanding is necessarily, because if you're presenting it to everybody listening, then that you're backing up your point you made. Whether they get it or not is up to them.
The point is that Newton is a subset of Einstein, and it can be developed from the principles.
They think they could just math it out and it's all fine, but it's two different fundamental things. So much so that one is a force and one is described as not a force. So, and one is 100 years older than the other one. So, I mean,
And Newton's equations work quite well for everything, from most everything we do on Earth. NASA uses it. It's quite, it's a whole lot easier than going into the tensors.
And then to make matters worse, the second one, the Einsteinian one, when they observe out there, they got that wrong as well. So you got two different explanations, and the one that supersedes the first one, they found out it doesn't work also. So hold on, I'm not finished. Hold on. So did they say that one is wrong? No, they invented dark matter. So I mean, it's a hodgepodge story that you believe in, bro.
That's how science works. That's how science works.
Yeah, yeah.
You find something that doesn't work, and you try to explain it. And in Einstein's case, he had several things that didn't work. One was the precession of Mercury's orbit. They were off by what, 43 seconds a year or something? I forget. No, a century or something.
Look, you can believe whatever you want, but some people are just going to point out the inconsistencies, you know, and
no
you got to invent dark matter and not say that we got Einsteinian gravity wrong. If you want to do that, invent 34% of all the stuff out there. I mean, and you want to believe it, that's up to you, you know.
Well, you know, that's the cutting edge of science right now. Can you explain if you have a better if you have a better explanation for dark matter or what's the observing this and describe as dark matter? Please go ahead, submit it, write a couple papers. I'm sure that people will listen to you because that's
You
still
missed the point. There's no such thing as dark matter.
There's something out there.
It's what they invented because they got Einsteinian gravity wrong. There is no such thing as dark matter. Somebody just said, you know what? There should be more matter over there because our calculations are wrong. So let's call it dark matter.
Yeah,
that's all that is. There is no such thing. It's like a unicorn.
What do you mean there isn't? There's something out there. Can be explained with this if you have come up with dark non. Is it correct? We don't know yet. I mean, they were trying to explain the orbit of Mercury by postulating the planet Vulcan that was interior to it. It worked when they discovered Neptune, but then they kept looking and didn't see Vulcan. Will dark matter be what's out there? I don't know. We'll find out. You're on the cutting edge of science.
No, it's not the cutting edge. It's the cutting edge of mistakes. The correct thing to do is, you know what? I'll tell you what they should have done, in my opinion. What they should have done is say, wow, man, you know, this Einsteinian gravity doesn't work. We got it wrong. Let's start from scratch. But they didn't do that. Instead of saying that, they invented dark matter so the calculations could come out right. That's what they did.
Yeah, but so what's wrong with that? When you say start over from what? Do you have a theory that starts from nothing, from first principles?
Why would I have to come up with a theory?
Because you're saying
isn't it good enough to say that one is wrong?
Should have. Is it?
So just make up a lie instead of saying I'm wrong.
It's an explanation.
You make up a lie.
It's not a lie. It explains. Is it correct? I mean, it explains the observations. Is it correct? No, we don't know. We'll find out. If you have a better idea, if you have a better, if you have a better idea, if you have a better, excuse me, if you have a better idea, go ahead and write it up and submit it out for peer review. There's a Nobel Prize waiting for you.
You're repeating yourself, Mr. Nethershell. Sorry to say, but
well, that's because that's all I get is repetition here.
Well, yeah, that's what you guys do, repeating yourself, but not coming up with any proof whatsoever.
Proof is, I mean, evidence, not proof.
Okay, I call it evidence. I'm not a native English speaker. Sorry.
I'm sorry. People get I apologize then, because people here get very upset with that.
No apologies needed, but I might confuse proof for evidence, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
There's no black stuff out there. They just invented it to make the numbers fit, like as in Montreal is saying.
Oh, okay. If you got a better explanation, please postulate it. I mean, like I said, there's a Nobel Prize out there for you.
Well, yeah, well, okay. I have a better explanation. A creator.
Oh, great. Where's your evidence?
Why do you need evidence?
Why do you need evidence? There we go. Now we're going away from science. This is
No. I'm not going away from science.
This is going away from science and into pseudoscience when you don't need evidence to.
Okay, and what's your evidence that we're stuck on a ball, and a magical vacuum that doesn't suck our atmosphere? Just give me one.
Yeah, vacuums don't suck, for one.
Oh, vacuums don't suck. Oh, yeah.
Vacuums don't suck.
No, that's why Hoovers work. Yeah, exactly. Vacuums don't suck.
No, vacuums don't suck. That's correct.
Yeah, you know what sucks? NASA. They suck up a lot of money.
How much? How much of the national budget is NASA? Do you know?
80 million a day.
How much of the federal budget is that?
Oh, I don't know, man.
It's
It's your claim.
0.4%.
Okay, well, I would love to have that 0.4% and do something useful actually with it, instead of brainwashing children.
Oh, so do you think that that's a lot of money?
You know it is.
It's not, though. It's only if you were to take a dollar bill or a pound or a
Okay,
euro
but
and cut
yeah, now you're
0.4%
changing
off of it, you wouldn't
subject.
even notice it.
Now you're
No, I'm trying to change.
changing
It's not a lot of
subject.
money. It's hard. It's pocket change.
Okay, maybe it's maybe in comparison to the national budget, it may be just
Exactly.
well, if you could compare to Belgian norms, it's a shitload of money. I can assure you that, man. So we could do something more useful than what NASA's doing. But yeah, it's their purpose, brainwash children to believing the fucking nonsense. Excuse me for cursing, yeah. My Flemish nature. Hello, Brainshare. Well, sorry to interrupt. Just got on my nerves. I've been looking into this stuff for decades now, and it's the same old shit all over again. Keep on telling lies and lies and lies and all over. And people swallow it. Line, hook, and sinker. It's so sad, man. Just use some common sense. Don't believe your own deceiving eyes. Right. But believe what quote-unquote scientists tell us. Yeah? As if the last 5-6 years wasn't proof enough that science is bogus. Okay. Reach his own, I guess. I'll stop ranting now.
It's all good, bro. Is this the first time you've been here?
Well, I've been here before, but I actually never opened my mouth. It's 1:22 a.m. here, and yeah, normally. Well, yeah, okay. It's nice meeting you, by the way. Opponent or I don't know if I can use that word. So,
It's
Mr.
good to
Narashov
have
is
you,
not.
and feel free to speak whenever you want. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I know someone here, but he's not reacting. But I'm not going to dox him. Well, yeah, and nice to meet you, by the way. I have the same look upon the whole black black matter, black energy, or dark matter, dark energy, whatever you call it. Yeah, it's just to make the numbers fit in what they predicted, and they do it over and over again. Yeah, but the science changed, and yeah, now we know more than we used to know. But yeah, but what you used to know was also settled science in those days. So what? Oh well, I don't need to preach to the choir.
Yeah, and this is old stuff. We haven't even gotten to the new discoveries, but yeah, we'll give him some time to catch up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and yeah, hiding behind Einstein isn't a very good move. If you, I don't know why he fled the scene. I wasn't that offensive. I hope I was just myself. I'm at an age that I can't stand years anymore, and might yeah get me upset a little bit, but not really, but enough to say my 2 cents here and then bugger off again, I guess.
Well, we got NASA left, so he's the one of
Well,
the main supporters. Hence the name NASA.
yeah. Well, I went to do debate with Doug Bob, or however he called, on one of his live streams once, and he would ask me back for that never happened. His chat said to him, "No, don't do that. Don't invite that idiot." I know why.
With who? Who are you talking about?
Doug Bob or something he's called. He has a YouTube channel. He's actually a real doctor. He was testifying. I forgot the state he lives in, but something with medical marijuana in the town. For the rest, he's a glober and total schnazershell.
A doctor. I'm trying to
He's
figure out.
talking, I think, about Bob, the not a science guy.
Bob the science guy. That's who I was thinking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know him as Doug Bob or something like that. I was on his live streams a couple of years ago, and it wasn't even about. Was it about? I think, yeah, Tartaria. A Starford. It was about Starford. Now I remember it. Oh man. Well,
Maybe
yeah.
you're talking about someone different. I don't think he would have talked about Tartaria. You're talking about someone
Yeah,
different.
he did. He did. He did talk about Tartaria, but he didn't do that for long because, yeah. No, but I think I can look him up. I think he's called Doug.
I don't think it's the same guy because I never heard about Tartaria.
But a couple of years ago now. Might not be the same. No, it's not Dr. Bob. Yeah, my memory served me well. I forgot his name. Someone here in chat, but he's not responsive, so you might remember the name. Yeah, it's Bob the Science Guy. Yeah, it's good. Oh, he aged. Yeah, it's him. Yep. Well, if it's still up there in one of his videos, I didn't even realize I was live on this live stream discussing. I kid you not, man. A friend of me invited, and actually a friend of me, yeah, they invited him in, but he's too young, and they were bashing him, and then somehow I got myself mixed into the conversation, but after me, they let nobody else in. And yeah, I know why. But I'm not one to be bashed with, easily pushed around. Oh, that's years ago. Oh, if I find it, I'll post it. I'll send it to you.
Missed what you said earlier. Was a question?
There he is. There he is.
How you doing, man?
Well, I just scared away another shield, so I don't know. Good, I think.
Awesome.
Dark matter, my ass. Toxic.
Oh man, yeah. I tried to help him. I think it was a couple weeks ago. Whenever it was official, with basically quantum took over GR and SR.
That, yeah.
Yeah, and and he was unaware, so I was like, okay. So I sent him to Nobel.org, and I sent him the videos of them discussing it, or I didn't send it. I just posted it in live stream text to help him catch up.
Actually, do you remember I was on Bob the Science Guy accidentally on one of his live streams about Star Wars? Or was that before I got to know you? It was with Eugenie.
I don't recall. I
Yeah,
remember
it might have been
there was someone
just
that
before I got to know you.
yeah, there was something you told me about. You were watching and they wouldn't respond or something.
No, they wouldn't let anyone else in except Eugenie, and they were that bashing guy. He didn't know his facts. He was a bit too young. And then they let me in, and yeah. And then he actually invited me for prepared debate. He would prepare himself, but afterwards his chat convinced him not to invite me in. So yeah, otherwise might have been I don't know on never mind. Bob the Science Guy. I'm not. I'm looking at his videos, but apparently he removed the Tartarian ones. Well, I would if I was him. But, oh, that's funny, man. I'll check with that Kenny. You might still remember when it was. I'm 5 years back now, and I don't see any Tartarian videos.
Is this the guy you're talking about? I posted a picture on
That's Bob the
31
Science
last.
Guy. I'll have a look. Where are we? And what server are we?
Earth Awakening live stream 1.
Yeah.
Live stream text 1.
I just have to find it amongst my list of. Damn it. It's not lighting up. Oh wait, I know. My clan server. Nah, play games at my age. How dare you? Oh, what? Oh, Earth Awakenings. Here I am. It's a green, yeah. And you put it in live stream text, I guess. Yep, that's him.
That's Bob.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, I pissed him off for a while. Commenting on his videos. Every time I recall, remember inviting me? Yeah? And then pulling back, idiot. No, I didn't say idiot. I stay polite normally. But that NASA show got on my nerves somehow, man. Where's your proof? Where's your evidence? And I can't call it proof. Call it evidence. Where's your evidence? The
But Bob
creator,
is
that's
still
my
around.
evidence.
He has a
Oh yeah.
telescope now, and he does some live stuff with his telescope.
Well, yeah, he has his minions, and they keep on sponsoring him, and they have their own little cults. Wow, nothing wrong with that, I guess. It's America, huh? Land of the free, home of the
cults.
Yeah, home of the cult. Doesn't rhyme,
No.
but
I wish we were running a monopoly on the cults, but sadly, that's
nah.
not the case.
No. We have our own cults here in Belgium. Had them and still have. Satanism is big in Belgium. It's another thing that the NASA show won't talk about, I guess. You change the subject, and then he did it himself. Idiot. It's only 0.4% of it. What the fuck? It's a shitload of money. 18 fucking million a day. Yeah, it's only small minute. I would love to have it. 80 fucking million a day. Man, would start my own country, I guess. Can come, brain. And you're invited too, Mr. Montreal. Oh, back for a second round?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, NASA's back.
Yeah. Ready for a second round. I guess he's coming back with evidence now.
I think he has some dark matter in his pocket.
Hope it's the only dark stuff he has in his
You have a
pocket.
If you have a better explanation, publish. People are waiting for a better explanation.
Oh man, publishing guys are. Oh, you know
You have
you should
better
work
evidence.
for you
You have
should work
better
for the
evidence.
Indian scammers.
There's
Publishing
no
clearinghouse. Publishing
there's
clearinghouse.
there's a Nobel Prize out there. Publishing Clearinghouse went bankrupt and
No, I'm talking about the scammers in India and the Telemaki truth guys.
you know there's a
Venkadore.
whole bunch of people out there waiting for better information. If you've got it, go ahead, submit it.
Hey, you guys have the money. I
Other
don't.
than the fact, other than the only thing you've got right now is incredulity. Einstein can't be right, therefore he has to be wrong. Therefore, he's wrong. Therefore, start all over again.
Excuse me, your own modern scientists themselves say Einstein was wrong.
Who says that?
Oh, fuck's sake, man. Well, are you so brainwashed by NASA that you don't look
Who
any
says that?
further than what NASA feeds you? I'm
Who
not
says
going to
that?
look it up for you.
Oh, you're
I
not going
came
to look
across
at it.
some modern
Right.
scientists. You can do your own homework. I'm not doing it for you unless you want to pay me
Oh, no,
for it.
you mean you? I just how about a name?
Well, well, okay. Give me some money. 80 billion
Oh,
The
a
name
day.
is easy. The name
I,
is dark matter. That's the
yeah, the
Yeah,
name.
name
except
is
that
not matter.
dark matter is not wrong. Dark matter is a postulate, a hypothesis yet to be
Oh,
proven.
wait.
That's wrong.
Give me a sec. I'll come up with some names for you. Maybe that pleases you. I'll gladly do the work for you. You don't have the capacity mentally. I get it. It's nothing personal. I have my own disabilities. Which is
Well, the fact that they came up with dark matter proves that Einsteinian gravity is wrong.
It's incorrect.
Just the fact alone that they came up with dark matter shows that it's wrong.
That's incorrect. It says that it,
yeah, don't let me distract you. I can mute it. But you have the floor.
oh, you go look for it. I gotta take my dogs out.
I didn't understand that. I was a little bit concentrated on my research, my quest for evidence. A name. Give me a
He
name.
left again.
Oh, he left again. Yeah, but he mumbled something. It might have been a curse. Man, now I just have to visit my local witch. Be cleansed again, cursed by another show. Ah.
Put yourself on mute, Meister Willie, when you're not talking, because you're hot
Oh,
mic.
I thought I was on mute. Sorry, man. Yeah, my brain works too fast. Sorry. I'm working on a report. Well, I just found out that Sabine Hassenfelder proposed a model known as convariant emergent gravity and doesn't believe in dark matter whatsoever. Oh, now maybe people don't know Sabine Hassenfelder, but she's German in origin and a big believer in modern science, but apparently not in dark matter. It's almost finished. Another show.
Yeah, I think I seen that video you're talking about from Sabine Hassenfelder. I mispronounced her last name as usual, but yeah, they come with all kinds of different ideas and theories, nonsense. Yeah.
Sabine Hassenfelder.
Yeah.
I'm Flemish, so close to Germany. They visited us twice, and well, we kicked them out after a couple of years. Got bored of them. I didn't do it personally, but my parents and grandparents were involved. So yeah, and at the end, yeah, say things happened in those days, man, that they're not telling us now. As a Belgian, I'm not allowed to doubt the Holocaust or the 6 million since 1993, punishable by jail and fines. So yeah, I'm not covered by First Amendment here. But we live in a quote-unquote democracy. There you go. Mr. Non-Heliocentric, yeah. Hello. Hola. Mr. Narashid. I guess not. I'll make it a PDF. Oh, is he around or not? I can't see. I'm on a tablet. I can only have one window at a time. But two actually. Another shell. Hello.
No, he's not here. He's not here.
Too bad. I wanted to question him about Bell's theorem and Eric Verlinde's theory about the universe being non-local and or computational. But then again, he buggered up. Well, since it's almost 2 a.m., I'm not running away from him, but I'm still married and try to keep it that way. And how do they come up with this nonsense? 68.5% dark energy, 26.5% dark matter, and then 4.9 baryonic matter. There's still 0.1 missing.
Got lost in the rounding. It just doesn't scale.
Yeah, or it's not so dark, but still invisible and unmeasurable matter or energy. I'll call it learn share matter. The universe is made out of
There is
0.1% learn share matter. Oh, brother. I wish I found that interview back with the shell guy, of the science guy, sorry. I got into a discussion, but that was in his own chat with, how's he called? Professor Dave. Oh, man. Oh, he jumps up on everything. And he has 2 million followers. In those days he had. But nah, it's all produced by a team, and he doesn't actually know what he's talking about. Well, he has a degree in something. I think it's acting, actually. Although he's not that good of an actor. But he also has his own cult of followers. Oh, sorry, I'm
What's going on? Anyone there?
present.
Yeah, we need a live stream rejuvenation ceremony. Carlos, do you want to lead it?
Well, I watched that video that New Perspective posted last night. I'm not sure if he's posted it earlier. Have you seen that latest one that he posted yesterday?
You talk about that one that's like Sarosa, something like that.
Yeah,
Sarosa.
that's the one. Yep. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it yet. I know a little bit about it, and I have it on my watch later list. But this is the guy that has the boat that wants to go exploring.
Well, it's kind of like a mishmash and sort of a hodgepodge put together of all sorts of other researchers, like Flat Earth British and his Tartaria take, and a whole bunch of these other people all sort of gathered together into one video. But he does make the claim that his idea what the shape of the Earth is, or the layout of all the continents, is the map of Monday. If you know the map I'm talking about. So he's a proponent of there not being a boundary. Basically, the known world of what we know. There's more. There's more oceans, more land. and he compares the map of Monday to today's layout, and shows that it's quite clear that it really is accurate, that map, as far as the continents and lost countries, lost continents. Yeah, so he says there's no ice wall, and he says that there is an island called Antarctica, but it's just an island. It's not a continent. It's just an island. And it is in the same place where they say it is. It's just way smaller.
But which map were you saying that he agrees with? You said map of Monday, or what? I didn't.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's quite an old map. I think it's like 300 or 400 years old.
Talk about the
And I
Urbano
think it was
Monte?
made on. Yeah. Is that the
Urbano
same
Monte
one?
map?
I don't know if that's the same one, actually.
Where's the Urbano Monte map from like the 1500s? If that's what you're talking about.
The map of Monday is as well. I think they're in the same era. Not sure if they're the same one. Have you got one you can put there on the live stream text? Have you got one handy, or just compare?
I might have the Monte map somewhere. This is the Urbano Monte map. You're talking about this one or something different? That's like kind of
That's
an
the one.
AE.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so he's basically got this map and he's compared it to, the map of the day that we have now, and he's able to show that everything is in the same proportion where it is now on this map. But we've lost from this old map, we've lost a lot of land. A lot of land has disappeared under the ocean, apparently. That's what he's saying. Yeah. And he also goes into the idea that the map of the world is imprinted on the moon. What do you think, new guy from Belgium? Have you seen this map? I think he doesn't know his mic's on, but
Lion, you're hot micing. Unless you're trying to say something.
What? All right, my bad. I got a phone call. That's why, my bad.
yeah, I think it's worth the watch just for entertainment purposes. There is a strong. He does have he is basing. He does have some good reasons and sort of facts to back up what he's saying regarding this map. I just want to get this one and the earlier video that New Perspective posted with the screen recording of E1 talking about the dual pole. I wonder if we can blend these two together somehow and come to some a idea of how it can be a dual pole at the same time as having this map. Maybe this map is the same as the one that the dual pole is on. Basically a flattened out globe, right? But this one is just including way more land than there is today because a lot of the land has disappeared under the ocean, according to this theory anyway. If this map is genuine, if this map is actually as old as they say it is, man, Um, I've got a lot of questions because like everything's kind of where they say it is, but there's a lot of stuff on here that's like not meant to be there. You know, for the narrative about, you know, the Ice Age and stuff. I mean, I've seen this map 10 years ago, but you know, I didn't think that anyone would like really take it seriously. I just wonder why the shape of this map, the outside is kind of like a, I don't know what you call that, sort of like a flower or something. Why the cartographer cut it like that instead of just making it square or round or whatever. I'm not sure what those are supposed to represent. Declinations or, man, who knows what they're supposed to represent. But in every little white space between those blue sort of petals, whatever you want to call them, that's all old Italian writing describing of what's in those parts of the world. And on this video that New Perspective posted, the guy actually translated all of it into Italian, from Old Italian, and then into English. If anyone, I don't know if everyone's seen that video, maybe I'll just repost it again into the live stream text so everyone can see what I'm talking about. Okay, there it is. And he also wants to get some people together to go, because he lives on a boat. He lives on a boat and he travels around the world. So he does navigation every day when he's out and about.
Well, if he thinks that's the map, has he verified those longer distances in the south?
I don't know if he's gone that far. It'd be cool to get him on the channel to come here and talk, right? Maybe New Perspective can talk him into it.
Because
Yeah,
that's pretty
good
much an
question.
AE map, or it's pretty much like a Gleason's azimuthal equidistant from the north. So it's pretty different than the dual pole. But I heard that from someone said in that video, that guy said the AE map is false, but then he's going with that layout, so he's kind of still going with the AE map.
Well, isn't the AE map just a projection of the globe, whereas the dual pole is also just a projection of the globe too, isn't it? Aren't they essentially like they've got the same distances? They're just projected a different way in the transform. Because like the dual pole is basically a globe flattened out, right? And the AE map is a bird's eye projection of the same thing, looking down from Polaris, with the whole globe flattened out the other way. I mean, he says there's two dual poles. But he's saying, what's he saying? Like, I don't know if he's on board with the dual pole as in a tight opposite pole to the north, like exactly. It would be cool to get his opinion on that. You see, he's looking for people to go with him, and he's going to pay for it around the world, wherever he's like traveling to go and explore. And he means business. He's not accepting any females. So that's like he's serious. He's not there for pleasure and fun. I think he's got 2 boats actually.
Yeah, it's interesting. Where did he come from? Has he done other videos, or is this kind of the first time people have heard from him or about him?
Yeah,
You know?
I don't know. Like I checked out his channel and he had something about like how to make beer really inexpensively, alcohol. He has got a channel. So the link, what's it? So his channel is called Captain Gun, and there's only one video, and that's the one that I just shared with you. But I thought he had another channel. Maybe I was wrong. I have to ask New Perspective because they know each other somehow.
NASA Shill's back. Have you seen that video? NASA Shill, have you watched it yet? The guy that's wants to go exploring.
What's wrong? The gun guy? That's what you're talking about? The Captain Gun one?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it. Let me watch
Hot mic and learn share.
it. God, the thing's 2 hours long.
Yeah, it's like a whole. Is it like a documentary style? I kind of skimmed through it, I think, for a second. I have it on my watch later list, but is it kind of like a documentary style? He says no wall. Well, that's what it says on the thumbnail.
Yeah, because he thinks that according to that map of Monday, he thinks that Antarctica is where it is, but it's really small and it's just an island. And then he compares the map on the moon to our continents that we know of, and pretty much the moon has got another whole bunch of continents on there that he thinks are the outer pondus sort of lands. So the only ice wall he thinks that there is the island of Antarctica, which is really small. So he's a believer of the Little Ice Age. I don't know if you've heard about that, the Little Ice Age. And so if there was a Little Ice Age, there would have been famines. There would have been and in that Little Ice Age, there was like volcanoes. He was saying that basically reset this whole place. And yeah, so he's a reset believer that the reset wasn't that long ago, like a few hundred years ago. And he also thinks that AI has been around a lot longer, and AI has rewritten our history. And obviously the AI that we've got now, the ChatGPT AI, that's that's just them drip feeding some technology to us now. But they've had AI, and that's where all of our histories in our history books has come from. It's been written by AI. That's what he thinks.
So does he bring forward any evidence for that, or are just his thoughts, or what's the case there? Because sounds pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, well, it is a long video, but it's worth it. Yeah, it's he covers a lot of ground in the video, and he does it as fast as he can.
But you were saying that that he says that our current history was written by AI. That's his theory.
Yeah, he talked about that for about 10 minutes, and he did have, I can't recall what his evidence was to back that up, but I think he was comparing with some anomalies on the map. But that's his theory. Yeah, AI basically has been around a lot longer, and it basically rewrote our entire history after the reset.
Wow, that's pretty intense of a theory.
I like it. I like it, man. It'd be cool to get this guy to to rack his brain a little bit, right? Interrogate him.